Yo, what's up, boxing family? Welcome to the Kenichi Bed Studios. This is the Slip and Counter Podcast. I'm here, your host, BINK, your host, GOLDENBOY. What's up, baby?
Tired and sore.
Yeah.
So it's a bitch, bro. I'm sore as hell.
What you sore from, man?
You know what I'm sore from. They go training camp. Herb and Dad trying to kill us, dog. They go trying to kill us, man.
What you in training camp going so hard for? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Try to help Drew. Help him get ready.
Word.
It was crazy because he fought Marcus.
Yeah.
And I'm freaking out because I'm nervous. I'm like, man, because they wanted me to mimic him. You know, and I could switch southpaw. So I'm like nervous. Like, man, I hope I did good. Man, they call back. Man, you mimicked him to the T. I'm like,
Right.
oh, I was like, all right, cool. I did a good job. Cool.
Indeed.
Man, my left shoulder, man, I can't even hold it up, bro. I think I did something bad to it. That's
Uh-oh.
how, man.
Been icing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Indeed, man. But yeah, yo, so we got a good show for y'all today. We got some good topics that we're going to discuss today. We're going to discuss the fight last weekend. We're going to talk about that today.
Yes.
End of the year, we had a great year. We kind of came into this around the middle of the year, right? It was around the summertime we came into this. And it just took off fast, man. We had a lot of great interviews, a lot of great guests. The team's been great. Everything been great. Been flexible, understanding with us. You know, things happen. Commuting up here from Hagerstown to get up here and make it to the studio is always an adventure. Always an adventure. But we make it. We make it happen. Slip and Counter been great. My team been great. So I'm thankful for you guys this year, 100%. But yeah, let's get into the show. Let's talk about the fight. Frank Martin. That boy Frank a bad boy, Slap. That boy Frank a bad boy. Go ahead, bro.
I'm not taking nothing. What else, Sabrina? Like, man, I ain't taking nothing at all from Frank Martin. That boy nice. And he one of them fighters that once you get him going, you in trouble. He's one of them fights you can't let him get into a groove at all. He's kind of like Reggie Miller. You know how they say, like, don't let him get started. Because once he gets started, it's just a snowball effect. So, didn't we not just have this discussion last week about fighters who they get to a certain level? It's like they forget certain things. How in the hell did Michelle Rivera, who I like a lot, my father was watching, he said, man, I like this kid. Man, I thought he was going to fight him better than that. How you get to that level when you can't go to your left? Your lead foot. Okay, lead foot's supposed to be the easiest way to go. Because usually you got to tell guys, hey, man, work on going to your right.
Right.
Go to your right, man. Work on going to your right, whatever. But this boy could not go to his lead foot. He couldn't go to his left. And you got somebody like Frank Martin. Frank just saw that like, oh, he can't. Okay, so I ain't dipping at all that way. I'm just going to keep on. Boom, change level, boom, come back with a hook, pivot. It was the same sequence over and over again. He would just mix it up. He would just go, boom, level change, back up top, hook, pull glove, pivot out. Or he would go boom and step and roll, dip out and get out of distance and go right back to the same thing. Not one time did Michelle ever just go, boom, okay, he's stepping and just bring his left foot with him and try to cut this boy off, make him run into something.
Right.
He threw one right hand that landed. And you can see on Frank Martin's face, like, all right, I ain't leaning over there no more. That's the only shot he getting tonight. I know what I'm dealing with now. It's like, and I was surprised he hit Frank with it. It was almost like, when I watched the replay, it's like, Frank, what you want to see, what it's called, feeling it. Like, basically, you want to say, okay, you see he caught him, like, right on the end. So it's like, okay, so that's the pop I'm dealing with. Okay, and he can't go. Okay, so I'm not going to dip this way. I could just keep on feinting him, go hit. And it was the same basic sequence. How do you get to that level and you cannot go to your left?
All of a sudden get one-dimensional.
He was even jabbing to his right, bringing his right leg over.
Yeah. And
that's just making it easier for the lead for the southpaw to just spin out when he want to, get the angle when he want to, and not one time. And then he's squatting down to Frank Martin height. What you squatting that low for? You had no reason to. And then you letting the shorter man out jab you. You letting him get in. He supposed to be trying to work to get in. He supposed to be throwing throwaway jabs, trying to get you to look at anything just to get the way he want to go. I don't. Shout out to hard work.
That's what you was looking at during the fight. I'm looking at Frank. First of all, I'm gonna say that Joker came in rehydrated. He looked great. He looked great. No homo. Body looked good. Solid.
Yeah,
strong.
he was in top shape.
Tip top shape. That's the first thing I noticed. He rehydrated well. He looked really good. Like he was 100% in the ring. Athleticism stood out to me. Footwork, fast, on point, in and out, in and out. The jab was on point. And I think Frank's pop kind of shook him and shocked him a little bit. I didn't think he expected Frank to run them numbers the way he did and to catch them the way he did a couple times.
He'd be a fool if he did think that way, or he ain't gonna run those type of numbers. You notice this dude throws 3 to 5. He throws 2s and 4s, 3s and 5s.
I think he was looking at Frank's last fight when he was getting caught a little bit, get touched a little bit.
That's a different type of
That was a different
opponent.
Frank Martin that we saw last weekend.
Not just a different Frank Martin, it was a different opponent. He had to do something different to get to where he needed to go. That's Phoenix. Phoenix is the type of fighter where, remember when he beat on Rolly?
Right.
Like, all right, he just fought Richard Comey. I gotta jump. I'm gonna jump on him, see if I can hurt him early. If I can hurt him early, get him out of there.
Right.
That's it. That's it, and that's all.
That's true. That is
so,
very true.
When you walking forward, there may be more of a chance of you getting caught with something. You know, you might get brushed with something because you're trying to bring that pressure. And the person's trying to do everything to keep you off of them. So that's normal. But my thing is that, like for instance, I'll tell you this. One time, shout out to Coach Bubbles, like an uncle to me, Raymond Bubbles Jackson. We in the gym, right? It's me, Mahiri Epps. He wanted me to work. They was like, wanted me to work on going to the right, but I still had trouble going to my right. Like I could walk to my right, but I couldn't do, sometimes I'll do this and walk. I couldn't do that like I do now.
Right.
Couldn't do it at all. Couldn't get the rhythm of it. It took a while. So what I would do is I would feint, do whatever, and if I wanted to go to my right, I would walk, but then stop like after a certain amount of steps. So Bubbles tells Boogie, do this. And basically it was like, as I walked through like a leaping hook, he said, you're not going to hit him with it. You're going to see it, but it's going to let him know. All of a sudden, Boogie leaped with a hook and I caught it. Whoa, caught it. And they freeze it. They said, time. They said, do you see what you're doing wrong? I said, nah. He said, when you go to your right, first of all, you can't fight going to your right.
Right.
Second of all, you only take 2 to 3 steps and you stop. Same sequence over and over again. You don't mix up the walk. You don't keep on lateral. You don't turn it into lateral movement to your right, side to side. Like I be doing now. Like all of that was progression. And I'm sitting there like, come on, man. I was cooking that. I'm in there cooking, doing my thing. And Bubbles said something that, I would never forget. He said, man, you better take this criticism now before you take it from someone with 8-ounce gloves on.
Right.
I never forgot that. And then he told him to do it again. And he threw him like, and I caught it. And that's when I started, okay, I got to roll. But think of when that was, I was 19 years old. How is it this kid gets to that level? I don't get these fighters. I don't understand it. Because that fight could have been way more competitive than it was because I don't understand. So basically what you're saying about Michelle Rivera is if you're watching it, you're looking at it, you saying this boy can only fight in a straight line. He can't even keep his back foot planted and just turn his left foot to the left. He just can't even go here and go, all right, now you're not going that way. And then shoot some short catch. He can't even do that. That's what that looked like. And he let the shorter man out jab him.
Right.
Now, I know he was weak coming in a little bit. I'm not taking that from him. But nah. It's a lot of people expected. They didn't like, oh yeah, he's gonna beat Frank Martin, like type of thing. It was a toss-up for some people. Yeah. But people expected him to do better than that.
100%. On paper, that was a 50-50 fight. That was a 50-50 fight in my eyes on paper. I expected a more, how can I say this? A more tactical performance, a more calculated performance. It looked like he was stunned and shocked for the majority of that fight and could never overcome. He never like found a way to make any adjustment. Him or his corner, there was no adjustment made.
I mean, and he has a good coach. Like I've always heard a lot about that coach. My thing is, why wasn't he told, okay, his main thing is to pivot out. You already know his first thing is going to be simple 1, 2, 3. Jab, right hand hook, but he might change the level on the jab, or change the level on the left hand. And he's gonna throw the hook up top. So let's just be prepared for that. But I need you to cut him off. If he's gonna go there, let him. If you can't, if he gets his foot on the outside of yours, don't worry about it. Don't just stop your sequence and just block and try to get out. All right, look, put your weight. As soon as he come in, and because you know Frank's still gonna come. He's gonna put his foot on the outside, but he's still coming here. Like, all right, come on, short. Make him run into something, like run into his shoulder, or sit there, boom, shoot the right uppercut as soon as he's up, or something like that, and then lock him up, sit on him, head lock him in the clinch, all types. All right, stop. Break. Okay, break. Like little stuff, like, all right, let's start wearing this short dude down a little bit. Yeah. And start hitting, like, little stuff like that, Like, start change. As soon as he throw his jab, he's going to probably give you a throwaway because he's shorter. His first two jabs may not get there. So watch for the load up left hand. But I need you to, as soon as he throw it, try to get yourself out or come over top of his jab, have that right hand where it's supposed to be, catch his left hand, and then come right back over top, then throw your hook. Like, or something like this. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get. I know a lot of people who probably betted on him lost some money that night.
For sure.
God Almighty.
But definitely not to take nothing from Frank, because Frank looked fantastic.
Yeah,
he looked absolutely fantastic. He did what he needed to do,
and he respected him. You could tell how he fought him. He respected him. Like, all right, this dude, I got to be ready for this guy. Can't get caught with nothing stupid. I can't do this. I can't do that.
Indeed. But what's next? I mean, 135, Frank definitely made his name known. Not that he wasn't already, but he definitely leaped a couple guys. We put him in the top 5, top 6. Contender at least.
Oh, hell yeah.
100%?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I knew that a couple fights ago. I knew that a couple fights ago that he was going to be a contender, but
for a title. He got to be up there.
No.
Frank?
No.
Come on, man.
Bro, I'm sorry. This is my whole thing, bro. I hate when people do this. It's like people kind of ordain people, and he had a great performance. He's had great performances. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit there. Even though he is older, you want to go and get him up there, go get his money now, whatever. I get it. Because he's, 27? So it's like, I understand. But at the same time, Marvin Hagler was at 40, 50 fights before people even considered him a top contender. But you knew what you were looking at. And it's like, okay, not saying he got to fight 40, 50 fights. I'm not saying that, but I'm like, nah, man, let him keep doing this thing. Let him keep on knocking these guys off. Let him keep knocking these guys off because you already know what's going to happen. They're not, the way he beat Michelle, yes, he made him look one-dimensional. Michelle only fought himself one-dimensional. But it's going to make other guys say, all right, we're going to let him stew for a while. Like kind of how they doing Boots a little bit. Like you kind of like, okay, it's time for Boots to get a title.
Boots is overdue, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Overdue. And I would hate to see Frank end up being overdue and folks like, why he not getting these fights? And you got to think, too, guys is about to start leaving 135. Ryan's about to leave 135. Devin Haney talking about 135. Left, didn't he? Oh, yeah, that's right. Devin's like on that Friends. On that Friends. Tiafimo left 135. So, shit, throw Frank ass up. He deserved to be up there at the top. Fucking 135. He deserved his shot at 135, I think.
Listen, you forgetting some names, bro.
I'm forgetting a whole lot of names. But I'm talking about the main guys. Devin got all the titles. It's still Lomachenko. You got Richard Comey down there still. A whole lot of guys at 135.
You trying it right now.
You damn right. He's 17-0 with 12 knockouts.
Who else is at 35, bro? You already know who I'm thinking about, bro.
Let's pull it up.
You know a couple of the guys I'm thinking about.
Let's pull up the top 10. Let's pull up the top 10. Pitbull 135. We can go top 15. We can pull it. It's that lightweight division. Pull it up.
I wouldn't let. I would say on his behalf, if you get a title shot, how I was raised is you get a title shot, you take it. You might not ever get that call again. I understand that. What I'm saying from my own personal opinion is like, oh man, nah, let it 2-3 more fights, let them keep on, like keep up in the competition. Then next 2 guys above them, we're gonna fight one of them 2. Get rid of them. The next 2 fighters above that, get rid of them 2. Kind of like how Ray Boom Boom Mancini came up. Ray Boom Mancini, he he beat the number 9 contender. He beat the number 7. Then he beat the number 3 contender, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
And no, he beat the number 2 contender. And then it was like, all right, well, ain't no point now. Is what Lexus Arguello wants to fight you. It is what it is at this point. You know, so it's kind of, that's how I'm looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because and he's kind of on that fast track like Boom Boom Mancini. Like, he just kept fighting. Boom, you knew Boom Boom Mancini was coming.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, all right, once that opportunity comes, you just gotta take it. But as we go, we're just gonna keep knocking off two of the names that's above me. Knock them off. Knock them. That's another. And by that third fight, it's a title shot automatically. So it's like no rush because either way, it's around the corner.
Right.
That's basically what I'm saying.
All right, so let's take a look. So the top 15 for the WBC. Devin Haney's the champion in all 4 sanctions. The top 15. Let's go the WBC first. You got number 1, Lomachenko. 2, Isaac Cruz. You got 3, Shakur Stevenson. 4, Zepeda. 5, Kambosos. 6, Yoshino. 7, Jermaine Ortiz. I like that fight for him. At 8, you got Mendy. You got 9, you got Michel Rivera. He just crushed him. You got 10, Nakathila. That's a good fight for him. 11, you got Los Santos. At 12, you got Jojo Diaz. 13, you got Maxie Hughes. 14, I can't pronounce this guy's name. And 15, you got Francesco Patera. The only one that got ranked is the WBA. They got
I was about to say WBA.
They got him ranked number 10. And I'm looking at all of these guys. The only guys I really see giving him trouble, Shakur, Tank, Cruz is gonna give anybody trouble. Zepeda will be a good fight. Richard Comey will be a good fight. Keyshawn Davis. We don't need that fight to happen yet, though. I would like that fight to brew. Now I feel you. I want that fight to. I want that fight.
Oh, you feeling me now?
On that one. On that one. Because they both coming up kind of the same speed. Let's give them another year or 2 before we put them together. But still, I like Frank Martin, man. He should definitely be in everybody's top 15. Chris Colbert. You don't think he beat none of them guys?
Yeah, he could beat a lot of them guys. Yeah, he could beat a lot of them guys.
I ain't saying throw him in there with Devin right now. I ain't saying even next year throw him in there with Devin. Okay. I'm saying soon. He deserves to be in that talk. You know, hey, Frank should be somebody's mandatory for something. Especially if Devin vacates.
If Devin vacate, either way, you might wind up seeing them down the line. All of them gonna wind up meeting down the line at 40.
Right, at some point.
Some point it's gonna happen.
So which fight would you like to see him in next? Out of all the guys I just named.
Where is he ranking the WBA?
He's ranked number 10. You got
who's above? Who's the first 2 names above him?
At 9, you got Yurik Mamadov. At number 8, you got Chris Colbert. And at 7, you got Isaac Cruz.
Beat Chris Colbert?
I think he'll get Colbert.
Yeah.
I think he'll get Colbert, bro. 100%. Isaac Cruz, that's gonna be an entertaining, tough fight for him. But I think he'll get Cruz too. And you hold on. I might be jumping out the window saying this. I think he might even stop Cruz. I think Frank might even stop Cruz, bro.
I don't think he hit hard enough.
You don't think he hit hard enough?
Not yet.
I think it's sneaky. I think he got sneaky pop.
Yeah, he do.
I think he got some sneaky pop. And if he catch you the way it's clean and sharp as he throw his punches.
And he set it up the way
he sets him up, and the way Cruz come in with his head down looking up and don't really see his target all the time, throwing him looping wild punches. I think that spells disaster. I think Frank can mess around, catch him in between some shit he don't see coming, a clean, sharp punch, and put him right on his ass or on his stomach.
Possible.
One of them ones, doom, like the Pacquiao joint. One of them Pacquiao joints. I'm telling you, I can see it. I can see it. I like Frank, man. I like Frank. That boy
took that uppercut from Tank. I don't know.
That is
true. Unless it was a dent put in. Because, you know, there's a certain point, man, with fighters, man. I've seen it so many times. Them guys that be taking them shots, they be, man, this dude be walking through everything. And it's just one night, one round, 1 minute where they get hit with a shot and they just can't take it no more.
Right.
Their body won't let them take it no more. Like, I've heard guys talk about it in the gym. Older fighters, older veteran fighters that are still pros say, hey, man, you get to a point, you hit a wall, and it's like, oh, my body don't even want to take it no more. Like, it's almost like you finally chipped that big rock, Like
Right.
almost like you just keep hitting it, keep hitting it, keep
Mhm.
hitting, and then boom, all of a sudden that person you're hurt. You know, like, dang, I'm hurt. What the heck's
Right.
going on? And then they're never the same.
Mhm.
And I do worry about that with people. It's like, okay, you took that shot from Tank, he's taking shots, walks through him. His defense is getting better, but it's like, okay,
It's
he may
adding up.
be, yeah, that stuff. I don't care. I don't give a damn who you are.
Mhm.
That stuff adds up, and
Right.
it becomes a point where you get hit, and your body just says, "Bama, we done."
We done. No.
All right, and you
No
on? I've
bull.
heard this one pro. I'm gonna say his name. He was like, "Man, I'm on the stool. I wanted it. I
Mhm.
wanted, but my body would not let me get off that stool."
Right.
He wanted to go. He wanted it. He wanted to go, but his body was like, "We old now.
Mhm.
We just got old in one round.
Right.
It's time to call it." And they waved it off. You can't stop that when that happens.
Yeah, no bullshit.
It is what it is at that point. You know, now you got some guys that go their whole career durable, but you still see the residual effects. But man, you know that body, man, you soften that body up, man. It is what it is. This is the game that we play.
Mhm.
So, hey,
Tough fights for him, man. A lot of tough fights here, and I just seen a name that I like a lot. You probably gonna agree with me on this fight.
what's up?
Like maybe his next fight, Angel Fierro.
What's that same fight?
He just fought. He's slick, man. He's nice. Angel was nice. I'm gonna pull his box rec up.
If I
real
see
quick.
his face, I probably remember.
Yeah, I'm about to pull his box rec up. You've seen him fight.
Oh, you
Young
know, I
bull.
probably seen the fight. You
Young
know
bull.
me. I probably definitely seen this man fight.
Angel's nice.
Nishi, no music.
This
No
kid
music?
right here, 20-1, 16 knockouts.
Juan Carlos Burgos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember this kid.
This
Yeah.
kid is nice. I think this be a nice fight. They're both coming off victories, both coming off knockouts, TKOs.
Yeah.
You know, I think that'd be a good fight for him. Angel Fierro coming up next. I like that fight. I like Jermaine Ortiz. He gave Lomachenko everything he can handle.
Yeah.
I like that fight for him next. And I like, let me see who I like. Stay away from Shakur right now. Stay away from Keyshawn Davis right now.
Yes.
Um,
But it's a dicey game you're playing with somebody like Frank Martin.
mm-hmm.
Because what I learned about older fighters is that when you have older fighters, he's not old, but he's not 22, I guess.
Yeah,
but
I feel you
27 is not 27 back in the day type of thing. I get it.
He's not that young prospect.
Basically.
Xander Zaya is.
Yeah.
You know,
so it's kind of like you want to put, all right, let's push this. Let's keep this train rolling. Now, don't keep him on the shelf too long.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they're probably in their head already had a group conversation of these next 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
These next 3 years, by the time I get 30, I should have fought these fights and then be able to take 6 months off.
Right.
Then be able to take a year off or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. But his whole, because you're not dealing with a 22-year-old who takes a year off or takes 8 months off and comes
Mm-hmm.
back at 23 and a half or 24, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. So it's kind of like a dicey and like, all right, do we give him do we say how we move him? Do we move him a little faster? Do we pull back on him? Do we preserve him? So it's all about them and their camp and how they look at, because they're with him every day. They see him, and they know.
He got Spence and Derek James, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a great team. So I know they got his best interests at heart. They're gonna move him
Yeah,
the
they
right
better
way.
have his best interest at heart. They bought that man down from Michigan to live in Texas.
Yeah, they're gonna move him the right way, man. They're gonna move him. And I don't know what the hell Derek James got going on in that gym, man, but them fighters come out of there chiseled, boy. Shout out to Derek James, man, one of the best trainers in the country, in the world right now, doing it, man. So
It was a good pro.
Yeah, for sure.
A really good pro.
100%. Now let's talk about Michel Rivera. I mean, he lost his fight. Who does he fight next to get himself back in that conversation? Because I still like him as a young talent, a young prospect. I don't want to see him fall off the radar. Who could he fight next to get back in that conversation and say, oh, he must have had an off night?
Yeah, it has to be a guy that has a good record, but a guy he's supposed to beat, but still credible. But what could be the thing that messes up everything? They put him in there with a kid that's in the top 15 and he winds up losing again. He, like, for instance, Phoenix got that robbery against Rolly, fought another fight, won, and then the next thing you know, they throwing him in there with Richard Comey and throwing him in there with Frank Martin. Now it's like Phoenix, who we all looked at as, oh, this kid may be a world champ, you know, because how he looks good. Bad fights now, all of a sudden, he's like he on the fringe almost.
It's a slippery slope.
Yeah, it's a very touchy thing with that. You know, so I don't know. It's almost like, man, I would really work on his fundament, work on his feet placement, stuff like that next camp. I mean, leading up to the next contract, we working on that. Then the next fight has to be a dominating performance because of how he looked.
Does he get anybody in the top 15? I wouldn't even throw him in there with nobody in the top 15 right now. I'm
talking about 10 through 15. Like, try to get, where is he ranked now? Where did they drop him to?
I don't know if this is even an updated list, but he's 9 in the WBC. He's 2 in the WBA.
Yeah.
He's 6 in the IBF. And he is 10 in the WBO. So this can't be the updated list because Frank Martin's only on one of these lists. So, I mean, I don't know if I put him there with a top 15 guy for his next fight.
So what you gonna do?
Like, who would you put him in there with? Comey? Nakathia? I mean, Kambosos? The Kambosos is a tough fight for him too. Zepeda?
It can't be somebody too strong. It can't be somebody too strong.
Right.
It got to be very strategic how you do it. It has to be a fight where it pushes him. He finds out what he got left. Like, okay, yeah, it was setback. I got betting. He shows more wrinkles in his game. Right. There's certain things that have to come off of this checklist. If I'm his handler, to make him into the next fight. Yeah. I would hide. There's certain, the next list opponent. But then at the same time, you might have this happen. You Michelle, they walk in and do this. This is what you got. You got this name, this name, this name. Pick one. All three killers.
Right.
You don't pick one, you don't fight.
That's true. That's true.
You don't fight. You don't pick one, you don't fight. That's simple. That's simple. And I have seen that junk happen on a lower level and a high level. I done seen that mess happen. I'm like, wait a minute. Isn't this they supposed to be invested in you and they just, what did you do? Like, did you piss them off or something? Nah, this is the names they gave me. All right, cool. And then you wind up getting your fighter hurt, ruined. So it's a very delicate, each opponent got to have a certain check off.
Right.
Before I pick them.
Right.
And I wouldn't pick nobody. Maybe I would look at somebody at 8 and 7, but really I'm looking at the guys at 10 and 11. Right.
I got you. The list is tough though, man. We're gonna have to see. I ain't even peeped the comments. Our brothers back in the chat. We got Cole Summer. Who are the Peterson brothers fighting? What y'all think about Lamont coming back at 140? I'm not sure exactly who they're fighting. I don't know their opponents exactly. But I love Lamont coming back, man. You know, he a legend. He a legend. Honestly, I ain't think he was coming back. I was told he done. He gonna start training. And for him to come back, it's like, yo, this shit gonna be crazy. Like this, that just elevated the whole card on January 7th, having Lamont back in the ring. That's gonna go crazy. If you can make it to that fight, if you can be there in the building, make sure you do it. It'll probably be something that we all never forget.
Man.
Against the Roast with Dose, he said Frank Martin whooped that boy, give him Santos, the kid that beat Rayo next, and then Tank. I forgot about that. He did punish El Rayo. El Rayo was the one everybody's talking about. Oh, he the one who punished Teofimo in sparring. He did this, he did that. Yeah, Santos is like that too. He shocked me. He shocked the hell out of me punishing El Rayo like that. Because El Rayo, I thought he had a crazy chin.
Man, people be killing me, but he got a crazy chin.
I thought he did. I done seen him walk through shit, but he went there with that kid. That kid said, no, not today. We got El Paso Route 1. What's up, Roy?
Big Roy.
He said give him JoJo or Kambosos, both coming off losses.
And if I'm JoJo, I'm like, I don't need that money.
Yeah, JoJo like, nah. If I'm JoJo, I'm like, nah. Because he might fuck around and take another L.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, then you're not cutting my pay.
Right.
You're not cutting people lose that train of thought sometimes. Like if the way I'm looking at this and I'm breaking it down, and the reason I'm careful on what names to throw out or who to fight, is because I'm looking at it from past experiences, looking at certain fighters, dealing with certain fighters. It's almost like Dude, people don't understand. I know fighters who done fought on ESPN and they peoples is hype. Like, yo, you fight on ESPN. Yo, man, that man get 10 grand.
Right.
13 grand. But they thinking he getting like, he get bread. The outfit on point. And all that shit.
Right.
Like, you never bad. He gotta be getting at least 60. You gotta
Right.
be getting at least 100. Shit. Please.
Gotta know,
I remember
man.
Top Dog told me, and he said it on air. He's like, man, first time I fought on ESPN, I was in a van. I started putting dudes down. They started picking me up in the limo. I was like, damn, it's like that? It's like, yeah, man, it's like that. So you can one night can cut your pay grade in half.
Yeah, boxing different, bro. Like, your pay really is determined by your performance.
Your sport, what did Cam Newton say in that last interview? He said, man, when he first signed this big contract, and I think he was getting, I forget the number he said. I think it was like $2.4 million in the check or something, whatever it was. He said, dang, I get this same check each Sunday, whether I win, pass for over 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, run for 2, 1 interception, or if I lose, and I get sacked 3 times, fumble once, and incomplete, only less than 100 yards pass in the rushing, I still get the same check. It don't work like that in the fight game. It don't. It hardly ever does. Hardly ever. Only a few guys get that type of money. Only a few. If your name is not Floyd, if your name is not Cinnamon, you're not getting that consistent pay. Cinnamon, the only dude that could lose the Bivol and still gonna get 20 million next fight. It don't work that way. Sorry. Man, remember what they did to Teofimo when he fought Lomachenko?
Oh, yeah.
They put that joke on the contract. When you lose, your pay is gonna be this. And Andre Ward said that. Andre Ward said, man, one loss, your pay grade get cut in half in this job. That people don't get, man. It just frustrates the hell out of me. That's why I can't. People want to sit there and pluck at these fighters, sit there and pick on these fighters. Oh, he need to fight this person, fight that person. Not saying you supposed to be pussy about it. I'm not saying that. This is your job occasion. Shout out to Mr. Lamont Peters. I never forget. We were at Headbangers. He was the first guy to ever give me an interview, ever. And we were in there, and there was a group of us. He's on the edge. It's right before he's fighting Danny Garcia. And one of the reporters thanked him. Thank you for taking the fight. He said, why are you thanking me? And this is my job. This is what I do. Is I know how to fight.
Lamont fought everybody,
bro. Man, what? Some fights I was pissed that he took. I was pissed. I mean, my man, I was like, oh my God. But he
got it in too, like,
man, what?
He got it in.
Man, what?
Come on, that's why I'm so excited for January 7th, man. Lamont being back is huge, man. I fucking love it.
Hey, man, and people gotta understand, like, you can lose and all of a sudden, because there's a certain, I'm gonna teach y'all something there. Like, okay, so when you start winning, right? When you get to the top 15, of course, like, I always tell fighters, like, I love when I could look at a fighter and say, yo, he's a top 15 contender. He's the guarantee. He's the guarantee. Because to me, that's when the money really starts coming. Like, you know, if you stay consistent, that's when the money comes. You can get to a certain point where you make a certain ranking where you're a minimum fighter. Basically, like, oh, you got to pay him at least $250K type of thing. And you re-sign with that. Paulie Malignaggi talked about it. And as you can, and then, you know, you get HBO contract. Remember back in the day, Vernon Forrest got an HBO contract. Miguel Cotto, those different guys, whatever. So you get those type of checks. As you progress, once you go to a certain point, if you lose or you like a shocking loss, whatever type of thing, all of that can go just like that. And I remember Kid Diaz. Man, I was such a huge fan of Kid Diaz back in the day. He fought Keith Thurman. That was his last fight. And he said, I'm retired. Soon as he got stopped, he goes in and he says, I'm done. And he's like, you're not going to take a couple months over everything? He said, why? Nah, it's nothing to think about. I'm done. And I lost to a great kid today. It's his time. But why am I going to sit there? What am I going to do? Go down to club shows or something? I'm not going to do that. It's time for me to go. Like he had a dignity towards it, to where I'm not gonna fight on a club show, even a spectacular club show. You know, a great looking one. I'm not gonna do this time to go, because he already knows it may look good, but I may get this amount of money. Yeah. And me and you know about some fights where the joint look dope as hell when you walk in, and all of a sudden you like, wait, how much this fighter get? How did the B-side guy get more money than you? You bringing these motherfuckers in?
Yo, I just was talking about it today to one of the fighters that's fighting coming up February 18th. I'm like, yo, you need to be the main event. Why are you not the main event? You knocking people out every fight. You putting asses in seats. You selling the most tickets. You should be the main event. You know who I'm talking about. You should be the main event.
Oh, look. Fact, hey, nice Jordans, Miss K.
Matter of fact, he had hit me because he want to come on the show. So, Monzo the Punisher. Yeah, hell of a fighter, man. Fighting at he's at 168.
At least Cole. At least Cole. I think he's fighting at 168 now, or 160, 168. That dude right there, I'm telling you. He nasty,
lights out, he come to fight, and if you don't have your mouthpiece and molded right, you're probably going to sleep that night. I'm telling you.
Oh, my God.
I'm telling you, man. Monzo punches. There's a lot of guys. I don't see a lot of guys standing in the pocket with him and trading.
Man, I remember he kept telling me about Monzo. I knew, of course I know Monzo. I know who Pun is. So I'm like, I finally go with him, and I know Monzo Pun is on the card. Finally get it, because it could be different when guys turn pro. They might change their style a certain way. Like, for instance, Sugar Ray Leonard. My dad was like, his whole game changed when he turned pro. He was a banger, more known as a slugger in the amateurs. He was known as like a knockout guy he was a knockout guy in the pros, but I mean, like, if you watch any of Ray Leonard's old, forget about the Olympics. I'm talking about his old amateur tapes, AAUs and all that stuff. He wasn't even, my dad always tell this story, like, he never shoe shine like this. He would shoe shine like this, and it would be hard, like hard stuff. And when you turn pro, you see start to move more and then small things like that. So, you know, things can change. Man, I saw that Bama come force a bell ring. He said, "Man, come on." That's all he said. Bell ring. He said, "All right, here come on."
I said, "Don't blink." I said, "Don't blink."
Don't blink.
Better not blink.
And I knew the guy he was fighting.
He was tough. He actually put up a good performance.
Heck yeah, he didn't lay down for him. He made him have to work, made him have to be a pro.
Right, yeah, he was actually touching Monzo.
Yeah, he was like making Monzo have to work, shift over, slide.
Made him adjust. He made Monzo adjust. That was great for Monzo's career.
All you heard next was, because it's a microphone above the ring, all you heard was poof. I'm like, God almighty. Once again, here you go. Hey, Kenichi, am I like, do you ever like, Kenichi, whenever you watch, have you ever watched the guys that's above our weight class that wear the 10-ounce gloves, like 54 and up? Do you ever just do like I do, watch them and go, thank God I'm little? Like, am I lying though? Be like, man, fuck that shit.
Monzo the kind of dude, yo, when Monzo punch, like no bullshit, that shit echoes through the arena. It echoes. Doom, damn. Doom, doom. That joint echoes like you in the Grand Canyon, yo.
What the fuck was that? Like, I thought he stomped his foot like with the shot.
No, that was the glove.
I was like, God damn.
And what's crazy, it's the boom boom, but it's all one punch. Boom, boom, boom. That's how the echo goes. No bullshit. I'm not gassing. Yo, like, matter of fact, let me just go ahead and say this, man. February 18th, there's a fight at the Live Casino in Hanover, Maryland, man. It's a lot of great talent on that card. Our boy Sharpshooter Greg Outlaw is headlining the card.
Indeed. Shout out Sharp.
Monzo Boy Conde's on the card. Monzo the Punisher. Too Sharp J is on the card. Who we got? We got Brody Chambers is on the card. AJ Williams is on the card. A whole lot of guys from the area, local guys on the card. It's going to be a great night of boxing. If you were able to make it, you want to see what the hell we talking about, because we not hyping this shit at all. If you want to see Monzo put somebody on the canvas, it's going to be a great night to come check it out. February 18th.
And also, it's like the venue is so comfortable.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You don't have a bad seat. And it's so many concessions, like you right there in comfortability. It's not just some fights where you go there and you just know you're gonna watch the fight and you gotta wait in this long line to get. But what it don't really, you're really comfortable where you're at, and then go get something and walk around. You're gonna feel like you're in your living room almost. Like, so, you know, yeah, it's a beautiful spot. Beautiful spot.
Tough, man.
Proud of Tony Jetta for that.
100%. Shout out to Tony Jetta, man. Jetta Promotions.
The legend.
Indeed. Hell of a fighter too.
Man,
another guy wanted all the smoke.
Bruh.
21 all smoke.
Tony Jetta, man.
And still do, yo.
Man, what? No bullshit. I was about to say that. Like, if I think about Tony Jetta, bro, that get me, dog, I swear to God. Like, Tony Jetta, bro, I be looking at him sometimes like, man, I can't believe that man is as healthy as he is. Because when he came in there, a couple of his fights got stopped because of, like, bad cuts, like headbutts, whatever. And that's how rough he was. That's how bad he came. Oh, he was coming to get it.
Right.
He was coming to get it. And I mean, I tell the story all the time about the Jimmy Lang fight, the first one, and me seeing him in a two-piece suit. I'm like, you in a two-piece suit. What up, Sabrina? How did you open up the door, man?
Open the door, y'all. What's up? What's up?
If you gonna come on, come on. My nephew just came in trying to see his father.
How did he open the door, though?
Matt,
close the door.
That joint was high as a mug. Go ahead, close it, Big Mac. Watch his fingers. Watch his fingers. How the heck did he just do that? Yo, how did he reach? Yo, did he like, yo, shorty just broke in?
You should see him at home, yo. He's so strong. He be climbing up on top of something. How did you get up there?
How did he do that? I don't know how he reached up there. I don't know if it was the Timberlands or what, but homie really knew what to do.
I don't know how he got up there. He ain't that tall.
God. Oh, but the Tony Jetta thing, man. But Tony Jetta cause, man. I mean, watching Tony come up as a fighter and fight Chris Eubank, he fought a lot of tough guys. He was on call all the time. Like, all right, you want it? I'm here. What's cracking? And when you came, if you didn't have your shit together, he ran you about that joint. He ran you about that joint, man. You know, he just put a post about Steve Smoger. He was like, and I was there that night. And, you know, man, God resurrect. Steve Smoger let you get hurt up in that joint. He was like, kid, fight back. Yeah, because he'll let you fight. Like, he'll give you a chance to fight back. You know, he'll give you a chance. And then he'll stop. He was real old school. Like, he'll give you, like, oh, kid, you ain't take that bad of a licking yet. Right. You know, so he was talking so much shit to Tony Jetta that night. he was like, he would not stop. And Tony was like, yo, what the hell, bro? I got to tell you off the air what really happened and why. But, man, he was like really on Tony Jetta talking cash trash, man. Right. But, yeah, man, the great Steve Smoger, rest in peace, man. Oh, man, so many great fights he refereed.
Oh, yeah. But, guys, look, Doe said Frank. I mean, yeah, Frank. I mean, we talked enough about Frank, right?
Yeah,
talked enough about Frank, man. Frank is a great fighter, hell of a fighter. What else you want to talk about Frank? Go ahead. I'll let you go ahead and tell us something. We'll talk about Frank a little bit more if you got something to chip in. But I got a bunch of topics because, you know, we're wrapping up 2022. Another fantastic year of boxing. Boxing is not dead. I don't care what all these MMA fans say, these UFC guys say, boxing is not dead. Sports alive and well. It's a couple guys that be in my messages, be on, especially on Facebook. Oh, boxing ain't no good fights. Do you even watch boxing? No. So how the hell you gonna tell me ain't no good fights? You ain't watching.
Exactly.
Tune in and just catch a card on any Saturday night. You gonna see a good fight. But yeah, boxing's in a great place right now, especially women's boxing. But we got some topics to wrap up 2022. I need y'all's opinions on these topics. So first, matter of fact, Dose, I think last week you said what was our favorite knockout of the year. My favorite knockout of the year was Caleb Plant when he knocked out Darrell, because I did not expect Caleb Plant to go in there and put him on his ass like that. The double left hook was vicious. Downstairs, brought it upstairs. He never saw it coming. That was a beautiful place punch. You know, Darrell, and then the beef between the two leading up to the fight. And then he did the shovel.
Oh,
he buried him.
He tried to grab, like, hey, stop, Caleb. Man, get off me.
Yeah, get off me. Yeah, and dug him again, put another scoop on him.
That was so bad.
Man, that Caleb Plant.
Was cold. That was some Larry Bird.
Yeah, that Caleb Plant, Darrell knockout was vicious, man. That was vicious. How about you? What's your favorite knockout of the year?
I was going to say the same thing just because of the total of everything that accumulated leading up to that. It was so bad. Everybody thought that was going to be a chess match. Nobody want to sleep tonight on this one. Because you dealing with two guys with such good vision. Like, all right, nah.
I had no idea, bro.
Boom! Like, and I mean, it was no, stumble back, fall. It was, all right, he's hurt. It was hit, fall. And it did that bad would wind up going to all that stuff you said, take that. You try to Try to go, man, get off me.
Uh-huh.
Keep on doing. I'm like, oh my, oh, this is little mother like Larry Bird.
What was beautiful about it though is, did you see how confident he threw the combination? You could tell he worked that in the gym.
Oh
like,
yeah,
over and over. Like, this is gonna be open if I do this over and over. Because the way he threw it is like, yep, boom, boom,
and full commitment, full shift, everything.
Yes, everything was so committed.
Oh
so committed. You could tell he
God.
worked that in the gym, man. That's probably my favorite knockout of the year. I have two. My other knockout of the year was when Kenichi Estrada knocked out Maria Santizo. She had knocked her down. Was it with a right hook, and then came back and hit it with the left hook and put her down?
Yeah.
I didn't expect Kenichi to come up there with that kind of pop. That kind of, yeah, that was a bad knockout. And she's so small with that kind of pop, bro. Those are my top 2 knockouts of the year, 100%.
We gotta also mention one of our local guys on the knockout. Snipe, stand up, bro. Let me go and tip my hat to you. I'm gonna let BINK take it away on this one, what he saw that night. Cause Lord, no. Matter of fact, he had plenty of stoppage, but
you talking about Greg?
Nah, Trayvon.
Oh yeah, Trayvon.
Marshall.
Trayvon, man, the sniper.
Oh my God.
That was a vicious knockout too, man. I mean, that was a scary knockout where I was actually worried for the guy. Like, is he gonna be okay? The way his body shook and then stiffened up, that was scary. But Trayvon Marshall's another guy that y'all need to keep your eyes on, and another guy that 100% will be a world champion and contending for a title here in these next few years. That guy trained hard. He's out the way. You don't hear much about him.
Yep.
We just see him in the gym.
Yeah.
See him in the gym. That's all you see, Trayvon. He in the gym.
With tassels on.
Yeah.
Fuck with it.
Fundamental work. He not doing that flashy shit. He ain't out here like Ryan Garcia on the reflex bag being flashy. Mr. Council got him in there doing basic fundamental work, and it shows in the ring because he's putting guys out. And then let's not forget though, because Greg had a fantastic knockout too. That first round knockout.
Yeah, man.
Up in Jersey.
Oh my God! And the same thing, double hook.
Boom, boom.
Nah, right. that one wasn't a boom boom. It was like, good God Almighty.
Yeah, man.
Because people gotta understand like how long. I remember when he was outclassing guys early in his career. Like, all right, boom, unanimous decision. But I was there with him. Like, I'll walk in the gym. He already in there. At strength and conditioning. His body's getting stronger. He's shifting more getting more into his pro style. And then when the first time I knew, oh yeah, his strength is starting to get there. When he knocked out, I think it was Danny Murray. And I was like, oh yeah, now it's coming along. Yeah. It's coming along. And then Evan started putting Bama's out. I'm like, oh my God, okay.
Yeah, Greg's starting to come together real well.
What?
Greg look good, man. Greg look real good. How about y'all? Y'all got any knockouts of the year over there?
What you got, Kenichi? Who got for a knockout of the year, locally or internationally? What about an amateur one? I gotta go with amateur one. Shoot, dang. It wasn't a knockout. It was a knockdown. But if I remember, I think he stopped his kid. Big Ben.
Oh, okay. Did he?
Boom! Dropped the right hand on the board. It just fell right on his butt, but he crumbled to his butt. Like,
like recently, huh?
Yeah, it was earlier this year.
Okay.
Okay. Boom! I was like, God.
They just came back from that tournament, didn't they? Ben went down there and did his thing. She went down there and did his thing. I think Jordan Roach went down there and did his thing.
Yep.
Shout out all those guys, man. Shout out all those guys. We've had all of them on the show, too.
I got a topic I want to get into, damn it.
Go ahead.
Biggest upset, who you got? Because I already got mine.
Biggest upset?
And don't you bet it better be a good one. Don't you hit me with no bullshit. Don't you do it.
The biggest upset. And I'm not gonna say Canelo Bivol. ESPN said Canelo Bivol was the biggest upset of the year. If you knew boxing, if you watch boxing, this is coming from the biggest Canelo fan. Like, I still got all my Canelo hats, Canelo shirts. I rock with Canelo heavy. And I said before the fight, when I heard the fight was made, this is gonna be his toughest fight. Canelo can go in here and lose his fight to Bivol for XYZ. And folks like, oh no. All right, let's watch and see what happens.
Yeah, because
exactly,
with that fight, for people who didn't know who Bivol was, at face value, it looks like the biggest upset. But when you unpack it and you know who Bivol is, you see, okay, Canelo's going up in weight. This is a traditional Russian European fighter. Because if you ever watch him do the mitts, like, it's traditional Russian European style. Like, every lead hand out. hop in, pull back with the hook, bounce here, come back here. Like it's traditional. Like how he's it's not no wrinkle there with that with him. You watch that. Then you learn about what he won in the European titles and the amateurs, how high he fought in the amateurs. Okay, it makes sense now. It makes sense now. So but with people who don't watch him like that, don't know, they not looking at it. They looking at it as Sabrino. They looking at it as oh man, Canelo lost. Like, bro, 154 going up to 75. Like, come on, man. This dude, I always talk about it. Canelo known for change level and sweep with the brick and knock dudes this way. Man, he threw that joint 3 times. I counted.
Let's keep it a buck, though. Canelo could have lost to a couple guys if he didn't knock him out. Billy Joe, Caleb Plant, a couple guys. Close fights. When I scored Billy Joe fight, people said, no, I had Billy Joe up. He was working Canelo.
I didn't have him up. Like, I did have him close, though.
Okay, I can see that.
I had him close because I felt like he should have picked it up a little more. I felt like he had Canelo following him and trying to figure him out just a little bit. Like, Canelo was under control.
Right.
But he wasn't as frustrated as he was when he fought Caleb. But when he fought Billy Joe didn't take some of the openings that he should have had, which I understood because he respecting him. He watching for the loader. I get it. But it was certain times where I couldn't give him the round, even though he was boxing good, because I felt like, no, you should have closed that last 30 seconds. I was strong. He could have did that shit all 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I wouldn't have cared. Wouldn't have gave a damn. But the last 30 seconds, all right, you see you got him following. You see that every time when you dip and double step off the back foot feint, and then you give him 2 shoulder feints. Yeah, he was doing all that and make Canelo trying to catch him, step over, trying to get. Oh, damn, missing him. You should have. All right, cool. Count on that. Hard. Yeah, I know, right? That's why I told her. That. Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Sneaker game. Okay.
So it's this is different from her usual croc day, powder brew croc days. For real. Our producer, like, it's different from her little powder brew croc days. So it's like it was different. I couldn't just give it.
Yeah, I feel that. For that. I feel that. But let's get back on topic though. So biggest upset. I really had to think about this one, man.
Yeah, because I'm going last. So go ahead and take your time because I'm going to cook.
I really got to think about this one. I do like Hector Garcia beating Chris Colbert. Didn't think that was gonna happen.
Son of... You know me too damn well. I can't stand it.
I didn't expect that one. Man. I took yours again.
You know me too well, bro. I did not tell this man this.
He didn't. He tried to keep it a secret.
I did not tell this man this. Yeah. Mama, what did my mother say? Do you know Bing? Like, did y'all go to high school together? I said, no. Y'all act like y'all know each other about 7, 8.
Yeah. The knockdown was, woof. The knockdown, he came and knocked with the flash knockdown, and then he just took over. And
can't stand your velvet do-rag ass.
Y'all need to go ahead on my velvet do-rags, bro.
Oh, my God.
Go
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Is that one? And then I'm not sure if this fight was this year or last year. I'm not sure. It was when what's the guy's name? He went in there and beat no, I ain't gonna talk about that. I do like, this isn't really an upset, but this was a really tough fight and didn't expect him to look this well. Was when Bam Rodriguez beat Rungvisai.
Ooh. That's a good one.
I didn't expect him to look that well against Rungvisai. Didn't. So those are my two. I'm sorry I ruined you.
Real close to saying it. Kenichi, I'm really close to saying it.
My bad.
Get your boy.
My bad, bro.
Man, but for me, it's Lil B Hop losing to Hector Garcia. But now, okay, let's unpack this fight.
Yeah, go ahead.
From what I was told, this dude came in. He had just fought. Matter of fact, this is the perfect time to go to his box rec. I'm about to go to Hector Garcia box rec right now. Because I want to see, because I know he took the Chris Colbert, because Chris Colbert wasn't supposed to fight him.
Right.
He was supposed to fight someone else.
Yeah.
The guy got sick.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he called COVID or something.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, yep.
It was like the week, it was going into fight week, and he came in. So, here we go. Hector Garcia going down to his box rec, hit box rec. keeping y'all engaged. I'm sitting there trying to talk so that way y'all don't sit there and feel like, hey, man, why you ain't saying nothing? Okay, cool. So now he fought Isaac Avalar. Then he fought Chris Colbert.
Mm-hmm.
So it was 2 months apart, but he was supposed to be getting ready for something else, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it went. And he took the phone call and showed up. And when I found out who it was and I saw his record, me and Dad were like, I know it's money on the line, but ain't no tape on the guy. They couldn't find tape on him.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't watch tape on him. They know nothing about him. Why are you taking that fight?
Right.
Even though when the bell rung, I watched Hector Garcia, and I still thought Lil B-Hop had it.
Right.
And the reason why I thought Lil B-Hop had it is because I watched this kid grow up in the amateurs. He fought plenty of them type of guys. And I'm like, oh man, this guy's strong. But Lil B-Hop should be fine. See, y'all know him as Prime. We know him as Lil B-Hop from the amateurs.
I still don't know what's talking about. Chris Colbert. Chris Colbert is the guy we talking about.
Because I swear, people was like, dude, you be saying nicknames, you be knowing these people, and we be like, wait, who he talking to? They lose track of who I'm talking about. But like, Chris, I don't know what the hell he hit Chris with that made Chris fight that way. But he hit him with something early. I mean, the first 2 rounds, because if you watch, Chris fought so fucking stupid from the first round on. As soon as the bell rung, he fought like he was just supposed to catch and shoot, knock this guy out, and go home early. Because if you watch, he walks, and he stayed in the pocket from the go. From the jump, he stayed in the pocket. And when I saw him get hit with a hook brick and it knocked him, he blocked both shots clean. Blocked it. I mean, clean, bro. Caught it directly on the palm of the glove. Everything was there. No, and it went, he pushed him and knocked him. See, look. He's throwing all bricks. He's thinking, okay, this dude, I'm gonna bang with him. He don't belong in here anyway. And he probably also thinking, because usually if a guy does that, what Chris is doing to a guy, you thinking, oh yeah, he a late replay. He just got off the couch.
Right.
He just got off the couch. So once I put it on, and I stay here for a little while, he gonna go.
Right.
And me and my dad are watching like, all right, you getting some good counters off, but hop back and reset. Don't stay there. Because that's what he want. Because you already see the type of guy Hector is. You're not, you can't just stay there. He's gonna brick, he's gonna shift and go to where you're gonna go. Oh, you going that way? Okay, cool. Rock, and I'm gonna come back when mine's go. He's not just gonna rip from here. He's gonna also move his body, sway his body here and there, as you see.
Right. He working. Yeah.
And I'm like,
he got off on Chris, bro.
Yes, and I'm like, why isn't Chris starting to work the C-power? Or even if you want to stay in the pocket because you are faster.
Right.
Boom, boom, quarter step. Boom, boom, boom. Like, see what's going on. You say, take that little step. Keep your front. If you want to keep your front foot planted, basically, what I'm saying is, if I'm here and I'm with you, we catch and I catch. When you shoot, it's what we call looking out the side door, see what's going on. Basically, but without giving up ground, too much ground. Well, you keep your front foot planted, you might catch one, boom, boom. Then you lean, whatever, see what's going on. Boom, you might come back with a straight brick. And you saw he did it only one time. That was in the second. He only did it one time. Boom, come back, and you go back to it, whatever. And if you feel like too much, then you take a full hop back, boom, then back in, boom, 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 boom. He stayed there. And then that was a fight he did not bargain for. And then he started to get, for lack of a better word, embarrassed. Because this is why this is such a big upset to me. If I'm Lil B-Hop kicking myself in the ass right now. Because who is Hector about to fight?
Fuck up the bag.
Because that means you beat Hector, you might have got that call. You might have gotten that call. Even if you don't get that call, it's better than losing to this guy. Now you watching him get that call. You wondering would you have gotten that call.
Right.
Am I making sense?
Yeah, it make a lot of sense.
So so when you unpack it, it's the skills that happened that night, the mentality that happened that night, the mental errors that happened that night, and then the ramifications of people's actions from that night. Because you don't even hear Chris Colbert's name no more.
He was beefing with Gary.
That's the only thing you heard. And after a week, you ain't hear nothing else about that.
Nothing else about that.
You haven't heard him in the mix? Like people throwing the name out there?
Right, that's what we for, though. Media, we gotta do better.
And it's like
about Chris, man. Chris still that guy.
Yes, and I'm like, did I understand why? Because I understand why his name isn't out there. Because a lot of people feel, from what I'm being told, I'll be in conversations with people, and you know I am. Whether I know you or I know somebody that knows you, I'm gonna say, because I want you to. If you know that 3 minutes feel like, I want to see you make some money. So I'm like, man, people ain't know. Man, that's how he fought, and it was because for him to carry himself arrogantly, as people feel, and then get in there and not go out on his shield the way they feel he should have. And then remember how he was talking trash to Shakur, and then Shakur got on live and said, "You talked all that trash to me, and you need a knockout to win, and you running like you haven't thrown a punch in 45 seconds or 30 seconds, something like that." He was moving away. That makes the pot go to lukewarm, then go to cold very quickly.
Indeed.
You know, so that's a huge upset, because you can't just say, "Oh man, he wasn't supposed to lose that guy," but then you see that guy that was the A side. Oh yeah, he's back making some money, and you know the other guy, he got another shot or whatever. No, there's a huge ramification from this upset. The bag got fucked up. All right, call it what it is, because this kid now done fought, and now he's about to fight he just fought the biggest fight of his life, and now he's about to fight an even bigger fight of his life.
Indeed.
He about to be set for life.
Yeah, no bull.
He about to be set for life.
And he doing it in Washington, D.C. at the Capital One Arena. Make sure you guys are there January 7th. Go buy your tickets. Go buy your tickets January 7th. We're going to be in the building. I'm still waiting on our media passes. I applied everything. I talked to our guys from the Second Win Boxing Media. Shout out to the Second Win Boxing Media, another platform here in the area, doing a great job with the boxing media, getting a lot of interviews done. Great content, so go check them out. But they're waiting on their media passes too. So, you know, everything fall through. We get our media passes. We go cover this fight. It's going to be historical. I can't wait.
Bro, I don't even want to be out. I want to be in the tunnel, because I ain't trying to be out there with all the people, bro. It's going to be nuts.
Atmosphere.
I'm going to catch a headache.
And it's going to be sold out. So, you know, it's going to be rocking in that joint.
Then you're going to have a nice little contingent of Dominicans that's going to be there supporting 100%.
It's a lot of Dominicans in this area.
Yeah.
All of them down the East Coast. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be crazy. I can't wait, bro. I definitely can't wait.
2 weeks.
2 more weeks, man. How about prospect of the year? We kind of talked about this last episode, but I added the name to the list.
Who you got?
My prospects, I got Keyshawn Davis.
Yeah, I can see that.
I got Keyshawn Davis, and a lot of y'all probably don't know who this is. I wanted to add some women fighters onto my list too, because they had a great year of boxing. Lady named Sky Nicholson. She's nice. She's an Australian fighter. Bruh. Made her pro debut this year. She's fought 5 times this year. And looks fantastic. I think her amateur record was like 170 something, like 30 losses. And her professional record and her skill set, I mean, speaks volumes for itself. She's slick, she's smooth, she's in, she's out, hand speed, got a little pop. You can tell she's still working on some things. She's got the right opponents right now to make her her professional debut look, her professional rankings early look the way it's supposed to look. But that's not taking away from her talent. She's a special talent. She can really fight her ass off. So I got Sky Nicholson and Keyshawn Davis as my 2022 prospects of the year. Who you got? Damn, it's a lot of names, man.
It's a lot of names, and I don't want to mess over nobody. But for me, I hate to be biased, but I am going to be biased with this Sugar Wayne.
100%.
Sugar Wayne, and y'all know why.
Dwayne Holmes.
You know why.
Mm-hmm.
And I rest my case.
100%. Shout out Sugar Wayne, man. Shout out Sugar Wayne. He just went down to, was it North Carolina? It was the first round, second round stoppage.
I think it was first.
First round stoppage. He's coming back. Great talent. A guy that's, from the area, and as a kid, folks was like, yeah, he the next one. And then to finally see him go through everything he went through, and finally make his pro debut. Got his pro debut, look fantastic, and just keep that ball rolling. What was he 3-0 now?
Yeah, 3 or 4,
3 or 4-0. I mean, it's just great to see him doing what he loved to do and going through everything he went through and being where he's at, and the promise and what's next for him and the things that's coming up that we're not gonna talk about on air. Stay tuned for Dwayne Holmes Jr. Please, I'm telling you, all those guys. Matter of fact, I feel like Andrew Council in another year or two might be trainer of the year.
Yeah, I trained with him for a while.
He gonna be in that conversation. He got Trayvon Marshall, Sugar Wayne, the other guy they got, the body snatcher.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of guys. Jared Hurd training with him now. You ain't see that? Swift is with Andrew Council now. So I mean, he got a lot of guys in his stable. So we gonna see, man. We definitely we gonna see, man. We could talk about. We'll talk. I feel like I just surprised you with some shit. Let's talk about that after the show. We'll talk about it after the show. Hey, look.
Good thing our producer didn't put the camera on me.
Right.
Don't know. Go back.
Zoom in on his ass.
Do what you do.
Zoom in on his ass, man.
I guess that's supposed to fix the problems.
Hey, you ain't know that? You ain't know? Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. We can talk about it after the show, though. I feel like that just fucks your whole day up.
I just hope he do good.
Right.
That's all I hope for. I just hope he do. I really want him to do good, man. I just hope he don't think that's all that's supposed to fix all the problems.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
Some other things you just gotta go back to the basics and fix.
Yeah, I feel you. Let's go fight of the year. We probably gonna have the same. It's probably gonna be the same on this one. I feel like this should be
women
everybody.
or men? Or it don't matter.
Both.
We're doing both.
Or it don't really matter, or both. I feel like this is everybody's fight of the year. I don't know how it could not be. I don't cry. I don't really come close to crying. I don't really show a whole lot of emotion. But after this fight, I mean, I was standing up, clapping, and standing ovation by myself in the living room, and I had goosebumps and hairs, and like I wanted to, like the tears was like, something about being a former athlete and knowing what goes into being an athlete, and for them to do what they did at such a high level, and the way the people in the arena responded, and the level that they finally got the sport to, it almost brought me to tears to see how much they poured into that ring that night. I'm going with Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. That shit about brought me to tears. And even now I'm getting chills talking about that fight. That's a fight that will live on forever. Forever. That's fight of the year, the decade, maybe even the fucking century.
Out the Mecca.
Yes, sold it out. And rumbled. Oh my God.
There was nothing that you could ask for in that fight. You wanted boxing, man. You got it. You wanted high level boxing, you got it. You wanted banging, you got it.
That shit, man. Just to see them do what they did, man, it was special.
Oh, they left a piece of themselves that they will never get back.
That shit was definitely special, man.
Just to live like queens for the rest of their life.
Mm-hmm. I done seen all kind of movies that don't bring tears out of me, like Titanic, and I ain't gonna cry for that bullshit. And, that shit don't bring emotion, but that shit was real.
Yeah.
That was real. And it was so real for both of them. It was so, and I feel like it's even for Amanda, it's so real for Amanda because she put her life on hold for boxing. She doesn't have kids. She's stayed out of relationships.
Don't have fun. Don't put social media. Her sister handles that. All that stuff.
Amanda's life is boxing, and that was the pinnacle. That was the that fight right there, man, is just everything for the sport. And I'm so glad it happened. I'm so glad we got a chance to watch it and be a part of that.
Man, people gotta understand.
Damn it, man.
When that fight started, I called BINK. They coming out the entrance. I said, BINK, you see this? He said, bruh. And you see Amanda coming through the tunnel. And for people who don't understand, when you're in the back, no matter how modern this sport will become, no matter how flashy the gloves get, no matter how flashy the outfits get, there's still a Roman Empire feel to it where you're in the back, in the gallows, waiting to hear this. Amanda, they're ready for you. And you walk. And a good example of this is if you watch Lamont Peterson walk out when he was at home. And when you watch Miguel Cotto fight Austin Trout, when he's in the back and his son wanted to walk with him. And you can hear his footsteps as you're watching him. And he's walking with his son. As they're getting closer, you can hear the crowd getting louder and louder. Tony Bellew is another one you can watch where you hear it getting louder and louder as he gets closer. And then he tells his son, all right, go ahead, team him up. And he runs through the tunnel and goes to his mother. And then the music starts. that powerful woman, and you could see Amanda feeling that because she's coming, and then her music starts, and then they switch it to the Puerto Rican music, and everybody's on, and she just stopped and looked, and just had that beautiful grin of hers on her face, like, oh my God. And she just couldn't help. She started dancing, having a good time. And they understood the assignment because they even got in the ring and looked at each other in the center of the ring. And she said, look at where we at. Katie, look, you see this? This is crazy. I know this is crazy. They're talking to each other, going, I know this is crazy. This is nuts. The whole time. Katie came out and took baby steps to the ring because once she knew what she was about to sacrifice.
I know her knees. I know
she didn't bounce or nothing. Like sometimes you'll see her bounce like when she walk, but no, and I'm like, oh, she feels all of this, and you can see her gingerly walking to the ring like, all right, I already know I'm gonna sacrifice a piece of myself tonight, but my God, it's gonna be worth it. Look at what the hell I just did. This little girl from Ireland just did this. All right. Let's do it. And then you can see her stop. And then looking at her like, y'all gotta understand just that part alone of walking to the ring was palpable. Because there's women fights where there's no noise. None. There's none. There are women fights I've been to. There is nothing. I'm yelling at the ring and you can hear every word I say. And these women, you think, so y'all understand just how much the pay was a big deal. Me and Bink was just talking about how you got fighters that fight at home and they look the part. And like I say, you got the friends like, yo, look, my man's whatever. But he getting $1,300 for 4 rounds. And the dude, I've seen guys get $975. And the guy that they fighting, the B-side guy getting $3,000. $2,000. Cut that A-side money, that $900, cut that in half. Right. The women were getting that. If that. And they were putting on fights in the night at BB King's, fights in the night up in Alexandria, fights in the night all the time, rumbling. And deal with the same injuries. Same as everybody else, doing everything. I sparred some of these women. I helped some of these women. And some of these women didn't turn because they thought this day would never happen. It's so many women I can name that bad. I mean, bad. Oh, it's one that I know from Benton Park. Oh my God. I'm so mad that she didn't turn. And I always thought maybe she didn't turn because she probably back then thought, man, ain't nothing in it. I ain't gonna do that. I could go ahead and just go to work and make that money. I'll come back and train, or some will be a coach at the USA team or something if it goes to the Olympics. Because you gotta remember, at this time, we teenagers, there wasn't even no Olympics for the women. You just went to the World Championships and that was it. Right. That was it. The women just started going to National Golden Gloves in like 99. Right. So that's why $1 million paid for both of them? Did women remember the week after me he was talking about, and we said on the air, we was like, man, the next fight, it got to be over there. And you can't pay them $1 million. Because they're going to be fighting in a soccer arena. And there's going to be more people. So you going to at least because of the show they put on, they not getting no $1 million. You probably got to, you might be able to give them 1.5. But you better at least have 2 on the back end. You better at least add it up to $2 million on the back end.
That fight over there? That fight on the numbers.
And the kettle's still hot.
Yeah, that fight.
The kettle's still hot on that.
People want to see that rematch. Everybody want to see that joint.
And
I'll wait for that one. I will wait for that one.
100%. And I'm like, man, you have fights where as a fighter, when you fight or you're an athlete and like when I got out, Bink like, oh, you back again? Yeah, I'm in camp. You'll check on me, worry about me, whatever. Cause you push yourself to a brink almost. Then you gotta break your body down just to build it up. Get to the absolute peak before burnout, and then taper off so you stay at peaking. And you see it and you appreciate, like the Gotti Ward's fights, Amanda and Katie. You see those type of fights and you like, I'm humbled by what they just did tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I gonna hope everybody in here understands they left a piece of themselves that they probably will never get back. They probably know each other better than some of their own family members because of what they just put each other through that night. And their family will realize there's a little bit of them that's different because of the punishment from that night. And now it's okay because they get to live like queens for the rest of their life.
Mm-hmm.
That's the type of night. All of that is in that one fight. All of that is in that one fight.
I mean, the names are gonna go down in
Hall of
boxing history forever.
They're gonna be Hall of Fame
fight.
Off that one fight, because they were already decorated coming into it.
We'll all be dead and gone, and they'll still be talking about back in 2022 when Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano
sold out the Mecca of New York.
That's gonna be talked about for hundreds of years, man. On some Jack Johnson shit. I'm telling you, like that's the kind of fight that they put on. My other fight of the year. Some of y'all might not know this guy or these gentlemen that put on this fight. This fight was here in Maryland. It was a local card. Jordan White when he fought Brandon Valdez.
Oh my God, I forgot about
Jordan Short Dog White when he fought Brandon Valdez. That is up there for my fight of the year.
Yo,
that fight had everything. It had controversy. It had everybody on the edge of their seats. Folks were standing up. Everybody was standing up. Everybody was eyes on the ring. Everybody was screaming. Every punch that landed was like, it was a ooh, ah. It was just that kind of fight where it was just give and take, give and take, give and take. And Jordan edged it out and got that victory. Tough fight. Them boys went at it. They went at it toe to toe and went at it. There was times where Jordan looked to be a little hurt and he had to fight his way out. Then there was times where he had hurt Brandon real bad, and then all of a sudden Brandon's coming back. It's like, yo, what's going on? It was one of those fights where you had to be there to see it. You had to be there to see it. You had to be there to really feel it, to feel that energy in the arena. That was one of my fights of the year. That and Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. Fantastic performance, man. I can't wait to see what's next for Short Dog, man.
That fight with Short Dog let me know, right? I mean, I always know because, I've known him since he was like 10, 11 years old. Mm-hmm. But that fight told me right then and there, okay, he a pro.
Mm-hmm.
He a pro. He willing to pay the price to be a pro.
He dug deeper than deep. He willed himself, and that's a big testament to his camp, to his dad, Mr. White. Just everything, the work they put in, the work they've been putting in, still putting in. I mean, it's so much that goes into that beyond the fight.
Mm-hmm.
The conditioning, the camp, everything, man. The nutritionist, everything, what you're putting into your body. There's just so much that goes into that. That was a great fight, man. I'll never forget that. Just the atmosphere, just the ooh, ah. Ooh.
Then the microphone at the top.
Get him short. Get him short.
Work.
I mean, man, that atmosphere was crazy.
My thing is, though, it's great. Get him short. I'm like, me and fighters, we talk about this. Like, sometimes you just want to say timeout. I'm trying. You want to help?
No bull.
Shit.
Yeah,
like,
no bull.
Like, bro, what you think I'm trying to do? Like, God damn. This dude throwing heat at my head.
He dug deep. And after the fight, when I saw him after the fight, I walked by him. He said, it's like that. Like, it's over. I did it. It's over. I get to go home. I said, man, great performance. Great performance. Yeah, great performance. Sure. And he just said, and kept it moving. He ain't had nothing.
Yeah.
He had nothing to say. You could tell he was happy. It was over, and he was exhausted. He gave everything. He definitely gave everything.
You don't get that junk, man. Like, exhausted. Man, and the worst part is when you be exhausted and your body's on autopilot, and it's just like, I don't want to talk. I can't talk. My body's spent. I can't go no faster walking. I can't do shit else. But this speed, I just really want to get to somewhere to lay down. And the worst part is afterwards how your adrenaline be running. You still might not fall asleep, but your body is spent.
Right. Done for. Another guy you guys probably won't know. Most underrated fighter of the year.
Oh! Can I go first?
Go ahead.
I gotta go with my boy Blueprint.
Yeah.
Who you got?
That's who I got. I mean,
what the
Chris.
Hey,
Chris,
go ahead, man. I'm getting tired of this.
Y'all don't. A lot of y'all probably don't know Chris Glenn, and that's because he's underrated. Fighting at 122, 126, around there. Probably be at 130 later on in his career, but right now he down there at 122 doing his thing. Another guy that all the odds stacked against him.
oh no, I don't want to fight them. I want to fight Glenn. Lost.
Right. All the odds stacked against him. Guys don't give him no respect. How you gonna come out on your pro debut and say I want Chris Glenn? That's disrespectful.
Who's already 3-0.
He's established. And you coming out on your pro debut talking about I want to fight Chris Glenn.
Oh, that was so bad, bro.
And we was at that fight.
Yes.
And Chris was visibly upset.
No,
getting his hands
not
wrapped.
Not upset. He was visibly pissed off.
Vocally pissed off. He was getting his hands wrapped. And he's like, nah, man. I said, Chris, you all right? I said, you ready for the fight? He said, man. He said, man, they fucking playing with me, man. They fucking playing with me.
I remember.
He said, he just shook his head and said, they fucking playing with me. He's getting his hands wrapped. He said, all right. I said, Chris, do your thing. And I don't know if you saw the story, but when, shout out to I Rose Films, he posted like a little clip and said, yo, BINK really love this boxing shit. I was watching Chris get his hands wrapped. And Chris, I hope you watching. I was watching Chris get his hands wrapped. And I got a bad habit of like licking my lips and shit. I'm not on no funny shit. It's a habit. It's like a nervous tick or whatever. And Chris getting his hands wrapped. And we had just had that conversation. I was like, yo, Chris, you ready for the fight? He like, man, they got me fucked up. They keep fucking playing with me, man. Pro debut against me, you crazy? That's what he was saying to me while I was getting his hands wrapped. And I think
I was just walking to the back.
Right,
I was just walking back there.
And I think I told Chris, like, Chris, go get him. Or something of the sort. And I took a step back and Chris getting his hands wrapped and he's listening to music or whatever. And I was like this. I'm like, yeah, Chris about to fuck this motherfucker. Because his mind where he was at, he was on some DMX, like, I'm about to go kill him. I'm about to go get him shit. So I stepped back and I was like this. And they caught that little clip talking about BINK letters boxing shit. But it's just that fight, man, and the way Chris felt, he was visibly, vocally letting people know that I feel disrespected and I'm about to go in here and I'm about to do some work. And that's exactly what he did. He went in and got after it, man. Chris is an underrated guy. He's a top guy in the area at 122. And he's ready for that work, man. Chris Glenn. So shout out to my brother, Chris Glenn, man. Great year of boxing. And let's do it again next year. 2023 is your year, man.
Man, Chris looked so mad. I think I told you, I said, man, you gotta calm down. I want his adrenaline. I don't want his adrenaline. I don't want him going there and fight stupid, whatever. And then if I remember, I think I said something. I said, yo, just go in there, do your thing, take the openings, and then start with taking this from there. Do your thing. All right. He was like, but stay relaxed. He was still pissed. He was like, he was like, yeah, I hear you, bro. Yeah. And I was like, all right. And I said, but guess it's your show. Man, that man will go out there, y'all. Let me break this fight down for y'all.
Go ahead, bro.
He come out, and me and BINK are ringside. And I see Chris, and I know he's been improving, but I want to see, all right, how's he going to turn this corner on this one? You know, because I'm really waiting to see how him turn that corner is, all right, yeah, he looking like a pro. This night? What's that? This man come out there already touching him when he wanted to touch him. I mean, everything he wanted to do was there. And then he started talking. To the point where if you go ask Chris, he gonna tell you. I heard every word Junior said. Because he was talking back to me as he whooping on dude. He like, I got you. Yeah, I got you, Junior. I got you. He like, I said, hey, man, stop, man. Fuck all that talking, man. Do your work. Don't worry about him, all that talking, man. Do your work. Close the show over and say, yeah, I got you. Hey, yo, double up on the fence on him, man. See if he bite on it. You know, he's like, yeah, I got you. I'm going down in there. Wow, boom, 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 boom. I was like, good God, oh my God. I mean, he literally turned. He's coming this way. I'm here. Me and BINK are here out by the corner. He's turning, following the guy. Feints him. Yeah. I said, man, double up on the feint. See what? Yeah, I got you. What? I was like, good God Almighty. I was like, oh yeah, he on one. Yeah, you go. Hey, you on one? Let's go. Because BINK recording next to me. And Chris started talking to this man. I'm like, yo, stop talking. Remember that? I said, man, stop talking, man. Stop talking. Do your work. Just do your work, man. He said, and he go. He's looking at the guy and he just makes eye contact. He won't even go like, yeah, I got you. He goes, yeah, I got you, Silk. He go right back to looking at beating on this dude. I said, man, hey, double up on the, hey, man, stop talking. Double up on the feint. See if he bite on it. Come back and do your thing. No, slide in. Give him a throwaway stick, hit his glove, go and slide in. He's like, yeah, I got you. He start feint, do his walk, come back over. Feint, do his walk, come back over. Yeah, I got you, Joe. What? Boom. I was like, God damn. Oh, this is over. He said, yeah, your pro debut?
Chris was talking. Chris was talking. Know what that remind me of? When Ali fought Ernie Terrell.
I knew you was about to say that.
When Ali fought Ernie, he was like, what's my name? He wouldn't say his name.
Mother?
Wouldn't say his name. And he was in the ring beating on him. What's my name? What's my name? And that's what Chris was on some Ali shit. Yeah. What's my name? Who am I? Pro debut? I'm Chris Glenn. Boom, boom, boom. What's up? Boom, boom, boom. Like talking that shit. I was like, yo, Chris is in his bag. Man. He's in his bag.
To the Ernie Terrell thing, the only thing a lot of people don't know that Ali even cursed at him.
Yeah,
he was so mad. He said, huh? What's my name, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Pow. I was like, God.
Beat on him.
Dang.
Beat on him.
Yeah, he ruined his eyes.
Uh-huh.
Ernie Terrell's eyes were never the same after that.
Mm-hmm.
Never the same. Did you ever see a picture of Ernie Terrell's eyes after that?
I ain't see the picture after the fight, nah.
Let me pull that up, bro.
I ain't see a picture, but yeah.
Wait till you see it. But yeah, man, Chris was on one right there. I think I had looked at, because I was very critical of Chris. I saw his talent. I knew I'm like, first fight, I said, man, nah, he got to turn that corner as a pro. He ain't got to be a complete pro, but he has to start looking like a pro, like a prospect. He said he looked good, but I know he could come better. Mm-hmm. And BINK was like, yeah, he working. He would call me, tell me that, yeah, he's working. I'm like, good. I want him to do good.
No bullshit. He would call me and ask me about Chris. I said, yo, because after his first performance, that's when he was really drained. He took a lot from to cut that weight. So his first performance, he won, but it wasn't his best performance. And a lot of people was questioning, like, is Chris really the guy? I said, trust me, Chris is the guy. This is what happened. This is what happened. No excuses, but watch the next fight. Then his next fight was the third fight that we talking about. And boy, I'm telling you, Chris is something special. What's scary is he's not even at the top. Fight? He ain't even at the top of where he's going to be.
After the fight.
Oh, he punished that dude. I bet he say his name now. I bet y'all stop putting these pro debuts in here with Chris Glenn. Don't do it. Oof. Don't do it. Yeah, man.
I was like, I said, so why was he so mad? Because I didn't know. Because what BINK is telling you, I was making my rounds. And I said, I'm going to come back there. Mm-hmm. So right when all of this happened with the hand wraps and everything, when I walked back there, they just finished wrapping his hands. Mm-hmm. He was sitting in the chair like this. Yeah. And like this or whatever. So I walk in. And I'm like, what the hell he pissed off about? And BINK pulled me to the side and told me. I said, oh, we don't let that bother him. Because my whole thing is, I know how young pros that could bother them and they wind up going out there and stay in the pocket a little too long and they get caught with something stupid. Mm-hmm. So that was my biggest worry. Right. But after it was all over, me and BINK about to leave, and BINK finally tells me. Because that was the day we rode together to the fight, right? I think so. Yeah, we were together the whole day. Right, we got there together, yeah. And he was like, nah, his last 3 or 4, it was his last 3 fights. Right. You said, his last 3 fights, they keep telling these guys, they give them some names, and they say, nah, I don't want them other 2 guys. I want Chris. Right. The other guy said, nah, I don't want them 2 guys. Right. I don't want that one guy. I want Chris.
They put Chris in there with guys he's not supposed to beat. Guys they're overmatching Chris. They trying to get him to lose. Not trying to get him to lose, but he's been matched with guys like prospect come out. He's the guy, right? They put him there with, like you say, bums or bums to make him look good. Chris don't get that luxury. They putting Chris in there with tough fights. His first 3 fights have been tough fights, and he's had to fight and prove himself that he's here to really box. He's really here to fight. He ain't in here just playing. And I don't know why they think Chris in here playing anyways, but he's really had to prove himself. And I think that last fight he really had a chip on his shoulder. He's okay, my first fight, tough opponent. Okay, my second fight, tough opponent. And you gonna put a pro debut in here with me? His pro debut against me, I'm proving. I beat 2 guys that, not that I wasn't supposed to beat, but guys that it could have went either way.
Either way.
And that's kind of not unheard of for early in your career, first 3 or 4 fights, 10 fights or whatever, but you don't want that your first 10 fights. You wanna get into the rhythm.
No, not 10. His first fights, period.
Right.
His first fights, period.
You don't want those
to that boy.
You don't want those kind of fights that early in your career. You know what I'm saying? It's not common. So for them to do that to Chris and Chris to have to take those fights, is showing how big his balls is, for one. Like, okay, cool. Tough fight. I'm gonna fight him anyways. Because I believe in myself. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna win. You know? So big shout out to Chris. Most underrated fight of 2022 is Chris the Blueprint Glenn.
Shout out.
I'm gonna stand on that 100%.
Yeah, man. That boy can fight, man. He made me a believer that last fight. That last fight, that boy he put on a performance. He did everything you wanted a prospect to do. He did it that night. Right. Boxed, banged, closed the show. Those 3 things, he did it immaculately. And that's ever since I was like, yes, that's the performance I was waiting on. Yep, I'm high on this kid.
So let me ask you, what's your most dominant performance of 2022? Shit. Most dominant.
Woof. Off the top of my head, I had to go with recently Ebony Bridges.
Ooh, yeah.
Because of everything going into it, and then how veteran Shannon is. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was pretty.
After that under and over, that's all she got. That's all she got out of that was that under and over, and then it was the end of the night for Shannon.
Right.
Beat the mess out that girl, man. She beat the mess out that girl. I mean, that was brutal. She changed the shape of that left side of that girl's face.
Yeah, with a broken hand.
With a broken hand. With a hand that was already bothering her in camp, from what she said.
Right, with a broken hand. That's crazy, man.
Who else?
I got a couple now that I'm thinking about.
Go ahead, shoot while I think.
This guy been dominant the whole year. He looked kind of shaky.
I already know what you about to say.
He looked shaky.
I already know what you about to say.
Right.
You want me to guess?
Go ahead.
I know this dude too damn well. Go. I know you about to say Shakur and Jamel. I have a feeling.
It gotta be.
Oh my God.
He had a dominant. He was Shakur been dominant all 2022. He was shaky and people questioned him after he fought Nakathir because he got caught and he kind of went into like a fight or flight mode, and he chose flight for a few rounds and just got through that fight. Because he even said after the fight, I don't like getting touched. I don't want to get punched on. Which I don't feel like that's a bad thing to say, but I think at the moment, after finishing that fight the way he did, people didn't want to hear that. Like, yeah, I didn't like getting punched, so I did this. It kind of rubbed people the wrong way. But for him to bounce back from that, go in there and dominate Jamel Herring after Jamel just got done dominating Carl Frampton, and then for him to come back
Put him into retirement.
Retired a legend.
The Jackal.
Right. Then to come off of that fight, going there against Oscar Valdez, who had just knocked out a fearful puncher. A guy that people was like ruined him.
Some people feel like he ruined him.
Right. And Burchell completely put him out. That was another knockout. That was last year's knockout of the year though. Going there and dominate that guy after that performance. And then to go in there and dominate Robson Conceal, another guy that gave that guy, Oscar Valdez, everything he wanted. And low-key, in my opinion, won that fight against Valdez. Shakur went there and said... In his hometown. Shakur said, okay, y'all gonna question me? Now I'm gonna stand right here in the pocket and I'm gonna box. I'm gonna box right here in this pocket with my front foot planted and make these guys look stupid. And he walked all those guys down. And in that succession, I'm like, okay, Shakur got it, man. Shakur got it. I'm also go with Devin Haney. Beating Kambosos twice. Dominant performances. The first one was dominant. And he took a risk taking that contract. He took a risk going overseas and into Australian territory and fighting that guy. A guy that had just beat the guy that had the belts. Another guy that people was like, oh, he ain't. That was an upset of the year for real against Teofimo. Nobody but like me and I think a couple other people said he can beat Teofimo. So for Devin to go in there and beat that guy that beat the guy that nobody thought he was supposed to beat, and then say, you know what, rematch clause back in Australia, lopsided contract. I'm gonna go do it again just to show you that this wasn't no fluke. I really am him. I really am him at 135. I'm gonna beat him again and beat him even more emphatically than I did the first time. So for me, my most dominant performances of 2022 is Shakur Stevenson versus Robson Conceal, Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez, and I'm going Devin Haney versus Kambosos 1 and 2.
Man, Devin, can we just go back to the contract, bro? Can we go back to the contract?
Yeah.
Bro? Can we look that up, sir? The contract. What was the contract with Devin and Kambosos?
Real quick. We got a question from Miss Chapman. What's up, Miss Chapman? She said, what has been your favorite interview so far?
Damon Nicholson.
I was about to say that. Definitely Damon, yo. Definitely Damon. Damon came through here, man. That's my brother, man. He texts me from time to time, and yeah, Damon was probably my favorite interview. I love them all, just coming here talking boxing to these guys and, hearing their stories and getting to pull certain things out of them. But we really pulled something out of Damon that I don't think many people have got out of him in interviews before. So that was special to share this with Damon Nicholson, who has a huge fight coming up January 7th against
next week. We got to break that fight down
against Demetrius
we gotta
Andre.
Break down that whole freaking card.
Yeah, he has a huge fight coming up. So he's locked in right now. I ain't even gonna bother him. I really don't want to bother him because I know where his mind's at. I know what he has to do. So big shout out to Damon, the best at it, Nicholson. And best of luck to you. Not that you need it, but best of luck to you coming up January 7th. We're going to be in the building. We can't wait to see it, brother. But, yeah, you wanted to look up the contract?
Yeah, buddy. Because you got to understand, man, you got to really be comfortable with yourself and the money that you put away for you to take that fight like that. And for me personally, I would have did it too. I would have did it too. You know, and that's missing now. But Devin is a student of the game. Like, he knows, like, the names that I be throwing out, like on Charlie Burley and all that, he knows them names.
Right.
He knows all of those names. He knows the records, like all the stuff that I be like breaking down the records and this date, this fight, and this style and all this stuff. He knows that stuff. So he looks at the game very similar when it comes to the money gonna come if I keep doing what I'm supposed to do. And it's like, okay, I gotta take that money, but I know I could beat this guy. So once I get him, I'm gonna get that money.
Right.
Type of thing. I'm gonna get to it. So you know what? You get this one up on me, but I'm gonna get 2 1-ups on you. That's how he kind of looked at it, and I appreciate him for that. I appreciate that mind frame for that.
Right.
You know, can you imagine if people called him the email champ of the world, all this other stuff?
All that bullshit. They was going in on Devin, bro.
Let's be real here. If this kid punched like Terry Norris, y'all will be on his job. Because he already can box his ass off.
People don't appreciate boxing. People don't really appreciate boxing in total.
He kind of reminds me of Terry Norris a little bit. Like, Terry Norris could box his tail off, but could punch like hell. And
that's all people saw was the punch.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, but was firstly known for speed. So if Devin, same Devin that we know right now, but if he had, let's say 20% more pop. People be on his job. Like, oh, and he wants to fight everybody. Oh, and he took a bad contract. They'll be on his job.
100%. You are completely right about that.
They'll be on his job right now. Let's just call that what it is.
Right. Keep it square biz.
Keep it all the way tall for y'all.
Yeah, all the way tall. That one too.
Because everybody want to. That's why. This boxing game is so fickle, whether it be certain fighters that act prima donna, or it be the fans that act a certain way, whether it be the media people act a certain way. It's almost like you really have to be secure with yourself to know that, man, it ain't gonna matter. It ain't gonna satisfy too many people. You know, no matter what I do. So, because Inoue can punch. But can box a little bit. People love them some Inoue. They love the monster. Yeah. They want him to fight Scooter Bad. And I hope we touch on that in a minute. I hope we touch on that. Because I really got some shit I want to say on that.
We can definitely talk about it, man. That's a hell of a fight right there, boy. Ooh, wee.
But yes, Devin took a horrible. People said the Teofimo land.
Right here.
The Lomachenko one was bad. Now this was fucked up.
So they said Haney, he took a $2.8 million guaranteed purse along with an additional $8 million from the pay-per-view. Kambosos, it was a 70-30 deal. It's not saying how much exactly. So if Devin got 2.8 with $8 million from the pay-per-view,
that's
and it was
30%.
And that was with 30%. So imagine what Kambosos got with 70.
Oh, and then, he pulled a Floyd deal, basically.
Right. So for the second fight, it was George. He had a estimated payout of $11 million in total for the rematch, and then I think it said Devin had $20 million. Okay, Haney will earn a total payout of $20 million from Haney versus Kambosos 2 purse. So I guess the same the champion. He had the belts, right? Them jokers got paid. Ooh wee.
But look at that jump though, 2.8 with a possible 8 back end to 11.
He buying all them Haney chains, whatever. No wonder.
So it's like that right there, man. You 2.8, then that all right, 70, 30. That means that Bama probably walked away. Kambosos probably at least walked away with over 20, bro. 100%. Over like base had to be 20, and then we ain't even talking back end. So if he got 8 million, if Devin got 8 million on back end, or supposedly was supposed to get 8 million for back end. Then what the hell did this Bama get?
Right.
Half of that is 16.
Right.
So you need another 20% on that.
That's big money. Big money, man.
You know, so you just got, I mean, when he did that, and I found out about the first contract, that basically was to me his Hagler moment.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing how he's a student of the game, he probably feels that way. Like that was his Hagler moment. That was his. When Hagler fought for the title. Do you know how much Hagler made when he fought Vito Antuofermo? And here's the kicker. This is another reason why he hated Mr. Ray. Mr. Ray fought for his first world title with 20-something fights. He fought Benitez.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same card.
Right.
He got $1 million. Ray got $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Ray got $1 million. Marvin got what Ray got on his pro debut. Ray on his pro debut got 40,000.
Matter of fact, I heard about that. I think that's in the documentary. They talk about that. Yeah, they talk about that in the documentary.
And Hagler's pro debut, he got $50.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He imagine getting cut. You just fought for $50.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, back then things was a quarter. Things was you could walk out of a corner store with paying with $1 and walk out with a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But Sabrino, like, man, I need to check on you, man. You ain't came out here yet.
Right.
But I think that was Devin's Hagler moment because Devin fought for that, and he got what his equivalent to Hagler moment, and Hagler got for Vito and the front one got $40K.
Yeah,
$40K, bro.
Filthy, man.
Even though it's the 80s, 40 is like 80 grand now, whatever. I get it, but like, nah, man.
Right.
It was funky.
Mm-hmm.
And I just tip my hat to him because I love that mentality. But if he hit harder, please, they'd be all over the job.
100%. We got H Money in the chat.
I want you to go to that. Yeah,
H Money in the chat. He said, MOB, slip and counter, salute. H Money, what's up, baby? Thank you for showing love. We got Smooth in the chat. He said, he got a point. Power is exciting. Pure boxing is for a handful of sophisticated motherfuckers. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, man. I appreciate the pure boxing. I appreciate everything that comes with the sport of boxing. Just been a fan of it my whole life, and I got a deep respect for what these guys go through, especially being close to the sport now. It's just, I ain't gonna sit there and critique too much. H Money, he said MOB, they be hating on black fighters. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother episode though. We can definitely get into some of that. Smooth, I'd rather watch Shakur than Haney, but wouldn't mind watching them both at the same time.
Chessman, that's Riggin Diao against Lomachenko all over again. Back and forth, like the chess match of it all.
Right.
That's what that is.
Shakur versus, he said, I'd rather watch Shakur than Haney. I mean, yeah. Definitely, I mean, shit, the way Shakur been fighting this year, woof, that joker, man. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. We got H Money. He said MOB, Wilder knocked out everybody. They still didn't give him credit. But, I mean, yeah, but then he got to Tyson Fury.
Man, scratch the Tyson Fury.
He got the Tyson Fury. I mean, Wilder was knocking everybody out, but then he got the Tyson Fury. So, I mean, Tyson cleaning it up. Tyson cleaning up that division, bro.
I don't think that's what he's saying. I think what he's saying is like...
Oh, he's saying he didn't get credit for knocking everybody out before he got the Tyson. Is that what he's saying?
I think that's what he's saying. Like, It's like, okay, then he comes back, knocks out Helenius, who just beat Kowalski 2 times. Yeah. So I think that's what he's saying. It's like, all right, but people get spoiled. People get spoiled at certain things, man. Even Tyson got to the 8th round. I forget what fight it was. He got to the 8th round, and they were getting doll in it. They didn't boo, but they were getting doll in it. And it's like, y'all that spoiled. Mm-hmm. And he was boxing good.
Right.
Like, Tyson was boxing really good. He wasn't. This wasn't the bull jobbing Tyson. This is still with Kevin Rooney. Still, like, he was still doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys just get, they got spoon fed that right hand. And then the fans got spoon-fed memes of that right hand. Mm-hmm. And they just expected that to be the end-all and be-all. It don't work like that in this game. I don't care who you are. I don't give a damn. I say this once. I will say it again. I don't care how many times. I done grew up around too many good top guys who can punch. Sooner or later, you're going to come across somebody who just you can't knock out. It's man, I tell this story all the time, man. Seeing Bam Bam Rios take certain hits, his Bam smile, and he say it's Bam, I'm going to clean it up. Mm-hmm. But basically, in Spanish, he's saying, my wife hit harder than you. Mm-hmm. And smiles at you. Like, and it's like people get so used to seeing certain things, it's like, oh, okay.
Composure TV, what's up, man? Thank you for joining the chat. This was, yeah, what's up, man? Appreciate
Because they get spoon-fed it, bro. To Black Belt Ben, he's saying, okay, why is it in general an assumption because a fighter has power, he isn't a boxer? Because people were shocked. For instance, Tommy Hearns, they were shocked after he got buzzed by Ray, how he started boxing. But if people knew, they knew that that's how he was before he turned pro. When he was in the amateurs, he was a pure boxer. And he was never a sit-down power puncher until he turned pro. So, and, you know, guys get so used to that, they think that, oh, that's just what it's supposed to be. Fans get so used to that, they think that's all what it's, you know, supposed to be. And no, Wilder did not knock out Tyson Fury, bro. Sorry, it just didn't happen that way. You can go ahead and watch whatever time clock you want. You go ahead and it just didn't happen that way, bro. The dude, whatever he was on, he got up quick as hell. I don't know how the hell he did it.
It was the Undertaker belt that says, "Dum."
Nah, you know what it was? Nah. You know what it was? He heard Mickey from Rocky say, "Get up, you son of a bitch," because Mickey loves you. And he got up out of nowhere, dog. Out of nowhere.
Tyson was out, and you see his body go like this, like he was late for work. He said, "Oh," and jumped and got up, bro. That joint was crazy.
But if you really watch that knockout and really unpack it, he was already out when the right hand landed. Then the hook landed too. And where the hook landed, that nerve that goes from the back of your ear down to the jawline, when he fell, if you're Steve Smoker, you see him do this. He couldn't even turn his head the first few seconds. His whole body was froze. He just did this. Look, his eyes over. Okay, I know where I'm at. And then once he felt, he moved his head. Okay, all right, cool. And then he's like, okay, I can move. Because sometimes you get hit. I think I told you about the time when I got hurt and I didn't get dropped, but I think I told you I got hurt and all of a sudden I couldn't move, but I'm sitting like this. My whole body was stiff. And then once I tapped my back foot, oh God, I ain't got no legs. Don't move. Right. And I'm sitting there selling it. And then I tap my back foot. Oh, okay, I got my legs. I'm good. It's time to move. Get the fuck out of the way. I'm glad that dude didn't know I was hurt.
Right.
God almighty.
It's been over for you.
Bro, man, what? I mean, I couldn't move. I was like, what? And my father knew too, because as soon as the round was over, he looking down at my legs as I'm walking. He said, boy, you recover quick. Yeah, I saw you was hurt. Yeah, that dude didn't know.
That was an incredible moment. Tyson Fury, Wilder won. That was an incredible moment for him to get up from that. Composure TV Woods. He said Shakur beats him all except Tank. I can see that. I can see that. That's another topic we got coming up before the show's over. Black Belt Ben, did you see the interview with the ref admitting the long count? I did see it, but from what I've been told and from what I've seen from like refs and stuff, there's a timekeeper.
Yes.
At the corner of every. He's ringside. He's keeping the count. So when stuff happens, say there's like the guy's supposed to go to the opposite corner, right?
Mm-hmm.
To start the count.
He's already starting as soon as your back hits them. Right. As soon as my butt got dropped,
right? He's starting to count. Right, and the timekeeper is keeping count. So when the ref picks up the count, he's looking at the timekeeper to see where it's at. So there's split seconds where it might not be exact. You know what I'm saying? It might not be the exact count.
My thing was,
but I don't think he cheated. I don't think he cheated Tyson and gave him extra time. I really don't. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
And my thing is that, okay, get a time watch. And most people done seen them videos. He got up like before 10. But at the same time, I have seen referees where the guy isn't fully erect, but he's getting up at 9. Like his gloves are off the canvas and they still wave it off because he's not fully erect, like fully standing. And they'll say no, they'll wave it off.
Right.
So, and I've heard referees say that verbatim in the dressing room. Like, if you're not, it depends on the referee. If you're not fully erect, you're not good. If not fully standing, and your legs aren't hurt, right. Like that's I'm not waving it off.
It just depends on who you got in the ring that night. Who's the third man in the ring, and how do they ref? What's their style of refereeing? Depends on what kind of fights you're gonna get. I mean, it kind of sucks because it kind of dictates. Like in football, they say, don't leave the game in the ref's hands. Don't get a stupid ass pass interference call. Go win the fucking game. Don't leave it up to the refs to win the game. I guess it's the same thing in boxing. Like, don't leave it up to the ref to make those split hair decisions because it could go either way.
Matter of fact, let's make it a bigger. If you really, since he want to unpack this, let's unpack it then. So who fought? No. Since he want to unpack it, let's unpack it then. So who fought was it after this Bama got up? Because when he dropped him, he felt that whole surge go through his whole arm. I mean, it was flush. What he do? He blowing kisses. He looking over.
Tyson the crazy
He thinking that,
motherfucker.
No. Deontay.
Okay,
blowing kisses. Oh, this over. He doing this shimmy shake. And you saw him look over when they.
Oh, you talking like when he was on the canvas?
Yeah. And then they told him, look. And he turned. He went, fuck. What the fuck? Like, the hell is this dude doing? And you see his whole fight game change. He never even jumped on Tyson the way I feel he should have jumped on him.
Just imagine, it's like the Michael Myers moment when you think you killed Michael Myers and he come out the fire. You're like, damn.
And I know I landed this thing flush. Both shots flush.
Damn.
And this man gets up.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it was he allowed Tyson to get back in the fight and buzz him.
Tyson got up and went to work.
He went and walked at him. Yeah, that's not supposed to. So so if you're gonna sit there and say, okay, the ref this, that, and the third, you dropped this boy twice. You were bringing the fight to him all night. You supposed to close the show.
Mm-hmm.
You got this dude coming back from 2 years. You supposed to close this fucking show. Yeah. Get rid of this dude. If you can't get rid of him, you already put him down. See how badly he's still respect. Don't get caught with nothing stupid, which you kind of did. Mm-hmm. But like, give him. He gonna look for the brick.
Right.
Give him the hook off the jab and then throw that brick. So let's start closing the show on this guy. If he still did this book, because you know how they say about Irish fights, if you don't put him down, get rid of him, it's gonna be a long night. Mm-hmm. So you already know you're in for a long night now. So all right, let's close the show in the best way possible.
I see your point. Why didn't Deontay just finish the fight?
Yeah, go back to work. Go to work.
Right. He definitely let him back in that one.
You gave people an excuse to say, well, it's a 9-9 round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Could have been scored 9-9. Was it scored 9-9?
I think one judge.
One judge had a 9-9. Yeah.
You know, man. So that's basically how I look at it. That's how I see it. You know, but it's just how it is. I mean, some people feel that way. But I done been around fights for so long. I done seen real long counts. I done seen stuff happen in corners. I done seen stuff with judges. I done seen so much crap all my life in the fight game that nothing surprises me anymore. Nothing's far-fetched at the same, you know. So it's like, at the same time, there's so many aspects that could go into just that one thing being a screw-up and having a controversy there.
Right.
If anything, I wouldn't even worry about the long count. I'll be talking about the 2 knockdowns and how you add that up and what rounds was given.
Right.
To hell with the long count. He still got the point. Mm-hmm. So what the hell? All right, so we got how many knockdowns now? Boom. Okay, cool. All right, how many rounds I
got a question. What's this? This is probably something you can answer better than me. He says, I was a fighter, but in martial arts, and I have done a little boxing, but I have a question. What is protocol in boxing when someone is clearly out and they don't give a count, like the Leo fight?
The Leo fight?
Leo Santa Cruz versus Tank. He was out.
Oh, so, okay. So this what happens. It's like, once again, depends on the ref, because, you know, God rest his soul, Steve Smoke will let you take a licking, boy, before he call it. But, if how I grew up around pro fighters, I was kind of like in that middle where I watched how the game changed. Because when my father was fighting, he was coming off of that era of dudes would be out cold on the canvas and they count.
They still count. Yeah, I've seen that.
And then as my father was turning into a professional, it went to if you fall a certain way, like your head cock off the can, you fall without no stumble type of thing, they immediately start to wave it off almost. You know, or you know, if you're taking a certain amount of shots consecutively, you're still in the fight because you're not on your ass. He was in that era. And as I'm starting to grow up, I'm coming into that era of you could be like the Jamel Herring fight with Shakur. That was back in the 80s. They would have let that keep going. Yeah. They would let that keep going. You know, so, but the protocol mostly, depending on the ref, is if you get hit and you fall and it's no stumble type thing, like, oh, you going down, and you out, waving it off. If you fall and you're hurt and woozy, but you kind of have a sense of where you are, but you're woozy, all right, I'm going to let this kid get up. But if I see this kid stumble, or I tell him to walk this way, or he don't answer my questions, I'm stopping it. I'm stopping it. You know, then after that, like, that's the book protocol, but then it gets to tendencies of what referee will allow what and what they feel. You know, so, and then when certain fighters, one thing you can also count on, Ben, is if you hear that a fighter got killed, a fighter passed away, guarantee the next month, 2 months, 3 months, every fight's getting stopped early.
Right, the game, like right now, the game is tight right now. They stopping fights. You catch 2 or 3 punches way too clean, they waving that joint off.
Yep.
Because we just had somebody die recently. Not so long ago.
A female this year. We had a couple females,
guys,
couple males. Former world champion.
The one guy that fought damn it, man. 168. Cuban.
Yeah, he's doing okay. Yeah, he's doing all right.
David Morrell hurt a guy really bad, and he just came out. He's doing well. He's back with his family now, so that's a blessing.
My
Love
goodness.
to see that.
He a lucky dude.
Yeah. I had actually looked into becoming a ref before BINK, before all of that. I was like, man, I love boxing. I want to try to get into it and be into it. So I looked up like being a ref and what you got to do to become a ref, and it's a lot. It takes years to get to where these guys like Kenny and them is at. You don't just get to that level. It takes hundreds and hundreds of fights to get to that level. And I was looking at the rules. And like there's protocols and there's like a guideline, like a basic guideline they give for referees to become referees and like how to judge fights and stuff like that. But then at the end of the day, it is up to the referee's discretion and how they want to, officiate that fight. So I know if I was a referee and I see a guy get hit clean and I see his eyes is glossed and he's out before it's the canvas, I'm not gonna count. He's out. He ain't getting up. There's no need for to keep that fight going. So at the end of the day, it is all for their discretion.
And just think, you would have had to start in the amateurs where one shot wrong, you're dealing with 14-year-old, 16-year-old just starting to get into their power, but their brain is still developing. Oh, he was a kid, got up over the weekend. He got up, but the referee said, I knew he was there, but he was just slightly glassy. I wasn't going to do that.
Right.
And he just waved it off.
Right.
So it's a lot. It's a lot. And of course the simple rule of when you get dropped and you get up and fall back down again, or if you get up and you stumble all the way across the ring into a corner, or you stop it.
Right.
So that's another thing. Like I could tell you, Ben, this one I always talk about when I got dropped, and I bet like BINK know this story. It wasn't no flash. It was full flurry. Both threw hooks at the same time. Brought my hand back, but I wanted to bring it too far. So chin, boom, go down. Brent Bovell, the smooth ref. Brent was the referee. I get up. I landed flat on my back in my corner by my dad. So I knew where I was. I'm like, fuck am I doing down here? Shit. Come on, get up. So you gotta get up. Get up. So I turned and I'm on fours. And I remember I took my left arm and I was about to reach for the rope. And I said, no, I'm strong enough. I can get up without the rope. Get up like a man without the rope. And I got up. And I got up too quick because I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear nothing. Everything sounded like Charlie Brown, wong, 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 wong. And now I get up, and everything was still slightly a blur and going back to good vision. So it was like, woo, and then going back to good vision. And all of a sudden I get up, and my left leg stumbled for a hot second, boom. But I never like stumble across. Like it was just left leg stumble. Oh, nope, I'm good. All right, bounce, snap right out of it. 4, he had already picked up the count at 4. 5. I said, I'm fine. Oh, come on, bro, I'm fine, man. He said, no, I don't want to hear it, Junior. 7. 8. He had already got the count in his head. Right when I got up at 4, he told me I got up quick. I thought I got up like at 7, because in my head, I don't know what's going on. Right. So I got up at 4. He said 5. I said, man, bro, but he said 7. So he still knew how to keep the count, whatever. So he gets to 8. He said, walk this way, come back, and everything. So and then I was fine or whatever. So and he said, if you would have stumbled further, but I knew you snapped out of it. But like he literally looked down and watched he told me later, like, yeah, I saw your leg, but I knew you bounced using top chat, so your legs came back quick. But if you would have stumbled, boom, boom, I would have been like, nope, amateurs, it's over.
Right. No, for sure. And I can see why they're doing it. Miss Chapman, he said they died in the ring. They didn't die like physically in the ring, but we had a couple guys. The guy in Africa who was fighting like a ghost in the corner.
That boy died in the spawn session.
That was a spawn though? No, the African guy. It was an actual fight.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah. But yeah, it was another African kid who died in the spawn session.
Right, in the spawn session. But the one I'm talking about, the guy, he didn't die in the ring.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
He was so damaged, he died in the hospital.
He was throwing punches at the air. Yep, right. I remember.
Yeah. It's crazy because he had just scored the knockdown.
Yep.
So it's like, I was so confused. I'm like, so who was the one that died? Because he had just scored the knockdown. He was counting that guy, and that guy got up. And the guy who just got the knockdown turned around and started fighting in the corner. He's the one that passed away.
Yeah, so from when I watched the tape, what I think it was the duration of the fight, and then I think it was that headbutt was the last thing that knocked him a little loose.
Yeah, that's
And then that's when, unfortunately, events
yeah,
occurred.
yeah. So I mean, it's rough. It's rough to see it. You know, rough to see it. She also asked us earlier in the chat. She said, "Dude, who's our all time fighters?"
Who's my all-time fight? Oh yeah, hell yeah, let's do this. Hold on, man.
I'll let you go.
Hey, look at he like, yeah, you not. He's looking at you, Mitch. Like, you done got this fool started.
We're gonna be until 9 o'clock tonight.
Hell yeah. All right, let me go ahead and hello, kitties. Welcome here.
Why you turn up the heating pad?
Hey, sir, why you all up in my? Why you all in my business for? Why you looking at my shoes for? Why you, man? Let me be great.
I wish they could put the camera on this man's feet right
like,
now.
Hey, look. I got on my nice Snuggies, man. Hey, my Jordan 3 house shoes. Don't knock me, man. Let me be relaxed. Why are you over there? Why are you knocking me? Why can't I be Kenichi? Miss K, is there a problem with my Jordan 3 slippers?
They're not even slippers though.
You said yeah.
I mean, thank you. I'm glad we honest. I'm glad we honest in here, yo. Yeah. I'm glad we honest, yo.
He said yeah. He go, no, but Kenichi gonna do this. Yeah. He like real smooth as shit. And then Miss K over there. Miss K stay co-signing this move. He goes in there. You have your tablet.
My thing is, you know it's icy outside and you wear those?
It's only for in here. I have my shoes.
You want to do a split outside.
No.
You want to do a split outside.
My torn growing. No,
man, I'm telling you.
I have my shoes right here. They are just for in here for comfortability. Okay? Why are you?
I want to drown so bad. I'm not even going to get it.
Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do, Mr. Velvet. It's all good.
I'm not, yo.
Dang.
I ain't gonna do it. Go back.
Can I have my talk with Miss Chapman, please?
Go ahead.
Hey, dang, you always gotta start some. They can't let me be great. God damn. So, hi, Miss Chapman. My favorite fighters is for me, Charlie Burley. Yeah, I see it. But I ain't had my Adidas slippers. I ain't had my Adidas slippers. So I was like, dang, I don't got them. So I was like, I just
out of everything.
I didn't have nothing else. I ain't had nothing else.
KB toy ass slippers.
I ain't had nothing. I was like, I'll just take my little joint. So just go ahead and take my little cousin one.
Tickle me Elmo slippers.
Hell yeah. But basically, Sugar Ray Robinson, Willie Pep, Charlie Burley is another one. Sweet Pea, Mr. Ray, Andre Ward, Kevin Kelly. Can't forget about Kevin Kelly, man. That's a special fighter to me. And I'm saying fighters that are not from my hometown because that's a whole nother list for me. But yeah, off the top of my head, my goodness, those guys right there was something just extra natural, bro. Just oh, that's Doughboy. That's Doughboy talking shit.
Cooking your ass.
That's Doughboy talking cash trash. What up, Doughboy, man? Love you, man. But to me, those are my guys, man.
Your guys.
Sugar Ray, man. Oh my God.
He was beautiful, man.
He was, man. You go. He's the Michael Jordan of boxing. Like he's the guy you can grab him, put him in any era, and if you, in my opinion, if you let him keep if you put him in his prime, let him keep all his memories, and say we're going to time travel. You get to stay exactly who you are, keep all your memories of your fights up until this point, and I'm gonna plug you into now. He was like, dang, the gloves is bigger.
Right.
I got different style gloves now. Oh, the rounds is shorter. Oh, I'm about to have fun with these dudes. Ray be in there having Ray be in there hurting dudes, man.
Indeed. Now his list a little bit different than mine. He's really a boxing historian. Like for real, 100% boxing
low
historian.
Key, like you see, you hear this shit, right? You see how he's saying it like
because
this.
But that's good. No, but that's good though, because somebody got to be a historian. Like I can go back that far, but I don't know it verbatim like you do. You can spit it out and know the time, date, fight, how many rounds they fought, what ounce gloves they had on, what color shoes they had on, the socks they wore, the catch weight. You know what I'm saying? How long the camp was, who was in the camp, the trainer, the cut man. I'm dead ass. I'm not gassing. He can break it down like that from fights from the 1950s. I'm not that kind of historian. My mind is not there. I can't remember like that. So I didn't really get into boxing. Like I said, my first fight I remember ever watching was Tyson versus Holyfield, the ear bite. That was my first fight I ever watched.
I remember you told me that,
yeah. And ever since then, I was like, yo, this is what boxing is. This shit tough. I like this. So, like my list, I'm going to go it's gonna be kind of generic. It's gonna be kind of the guys that we know, that the casuals know. But definitely Ali for what he did in and out of the ring. I love Ali.
He was
Tyson.
an animal, man.
Mm-hmm. Ali, Mike Tyson. I'm going with. I love Miguel Cotto. I grew up watching Winky Wright. Who else? Argentinian guy. Another one of my guys.
Carlos Monzon?
No, he went up and beat we went to middleweight.
Carlos Monzon? Well, how far back?
This is like the 2000s.
Oh,
man, I have his name.
Sergio Martinez.
Sergio Martinez. He was dominant for a while. What, dude? Okay, cool. That's my son right there. Lil Mac, you know what I'm saying? He got on his basketball jersey. Just started basketball season. Yeah. He think he a hooper. Yeah, Sergio Martinez was nice. Yeah. Love watching him. I said Miguel Cotto. I'm going with Floyd. Watch a lot of Floyd Mayweather from early on, like Gotti and all of that. Who else? I'm going Sugar Ray, Robinson, and Leonard. Really that whole generation, man. Sugar Ray, Marvin, all those guys. I feel like I'm missing somebody important that I wanted to say.
Wait, that would just said the George Slippers. They was that. Hey, look, the Slippers is comfortable as hell when I'm trying to help my patients and shit at the hospital. All right, I can sit there, be as comfortable as possible.
You wear those at the hospital?
Yeah, because it's comfortable. I'm the one sitting there got to make the medicine and stuff. All right, go back to your list, man. Just go back to the list, bro. Go ahead.
I'm missing somebody important. I said Miguel Cotto. I did not want to forget Cotto. I feel like Cotto, Roy Jones, definitely Roy Jones, but that's not the name I was thinking of.
Give me an example of him.
I gotta think. I got so much on my mind, Christmas time and everything. My mind been everywhere.
If you can't remember that, just break down like what he is and whatever, and I'll probably figure it out.
Let me see. We got 2000s fighter. Bro, why am I acting dumb? Like I ain't BINK.
Break him down to me. What fight did he fight?
He on the shirt.
Oh, Diego?
Yeah.
Chico.
Yes. How the hell I forget that, yo? That's what I'm saying. My mind be slipping. I be forgetting stuff. Diego Corrales. I got to put him on there, man. Got to put him on there. One of my all-time favorite fighters. Yeah, that's my list.
Respect.
Mm-hmm.
Respect. And with that list, I like you said, I'd be at 9 o'clock because I would have mentioned a lot of the guys that's on your list to my list.
There's so many more too at that.
Yeah, so many more. Wilfred and Benitez. Benitez is another one of my guys, like El Dorado. Mm-hmm. Like that. Oh my god, man! Go. Did you ever see it? I think I posted on my stories a couple times that highlight Nago Benitez that when he fought Chris Hope, he walked Chris Hope to the rope, feigned him, made him look like he going to the body, walked him to the rope, boom, crushes him with the right hand, and as soon as he hit him, he knew he just stopped. Mm-hmm. And smile at the fans and everything. This man gets hit with the right hand, crushed, and slowly crumbles to the canvas. So when he hit him, like that's how. Oh my good man, Wilfred Benitez. I know some Benitez. You gonna watch tape with your Tio about Wilfred Benitez real soon.
For real,
man. That man was nice.
No, who else I like to watch, man? Before he fought Floyd and all that, Juan Manuel. He was vicious too.
You know who he really is though?
Who's that?
Him and his brother, because you ever seen his brother fight, right? Raphael?
I haven't seen it. No, I have.
When he fought Israel Vasquez 4 times.
Uh-huh.
Them two fight exactly like Alexis Arguello. Mm-hmm. Go look at Alexis Arguello tapes. They fight just like Alexis Arguello.
Right.
I mean, not bouncing too high, the hit, combination punching. They are. You would think they came from Alexis Arguello. Like they must have been trained by him or something. Mm-hmm. But the other topic I wanted to talk about was the Inoue Scooter situation. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna let you go first before, because you know how I am. I'm gonna cook. So go. So I want to see what you think. I bounce off of you.
I like the fight.
Yeah,
I like the fight a lot.
And I think Scooter can get him.
Yeah, I'm about to say that. I think that might be a little bit too big of a bite. Like your eyes too big for your stomach kind of situation.
Yeah. Going up and
trying to fight Steven. I mean, Steven did just beat what's his name? The pretty boy.
Oh yeah, Brandon Figueroa.
Brandon Figueroa.
The heartbreak kid.
The heartbreaker. Tall guy, way bigger than Steven, can punch, comes to fight. And I mean, Scooter found a way. And I think Inoue might come in and be, he's sharp. Yeah, he got pop. I think he may be a little bit too small for Steven. I think Steven might impose himself and find a way to win that fight. I don't think he knocks Inoue out, but I think it's a fight that he outboxes him, outclasses him. I don't know if I want to see that fight yet though. I feel like Steven, he got things he still got to do, like go be undisputed. Do that, then entertain an Inoue situation, see what the bag is like, the money, entertain it then. But not yet.
I mean, I know one thing. If he fight a new way, he can't do what he did against Brandon, lean on the ropes too much. Sit in the pot, or Danny or Romero, like when he's sitting on blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't want him to sit there too long.
Yeah, definitely can't sit there too long. That was Inoue.
Because of how Inoue sit down on his bricks. Inoue can crack. But this is my thing. And it took Showbiz. I follow Showbiz a lot. People get, I think I mentioned in the last show, when it was like people, they sit there, they get upset with him because he don't fanboy enough, basically. Right. They ain't say fanboy, but you could tell that's what the words were. You just sneaking up, getting close. Come on, man. Come on. With your Cheeto face. Come on. And, I think, here's my question. Do you think, because Scooter is doing everything but knocking guys out. I mean, he smashing dudes.
Yeah.
It goes back to what we talked about earlier. So if he was putting dudes out cold, would he be getting the same love that Inoue's getting?
100%. If he was knocking guys out, stopping guys, making guys look crazy, putting guys on the canvas, yeah, 100%. 100%. Because he has everything in his bag. He's a well-rounded, complete fighter.
I remember when he fought Tweezy when they were kids. Antoine Russell, y'all. He fought my guy when they were kids. I remember that.
Right.
I remember that fight.
That's the only thing he missing is that thud. That thud to start putting Bammers out, but he really don't need it. I don't think he needs it. I think
he has it. It's just the higher level of guys that you're fighting.
Right. He hasn't had to pull that out his bag yet.
That's right, Sabrina.
He hasn't had to pull out his bag.
So I just, if he fights Inoue, I think he could get him. I think he's fast enough to get him. I think his feet are fast enough to get him. And I think he'll be able to watch for the traps, but Lord knows he can't relax. That's one of them fights where when you're in there with a guy that can punch, for people that don't know, it is a anxiety situation. You can fall because you can fall asleep in there. And people are like, how you fall asleep in there and you fighting? It's because you're taught to not get too anxious. You remember I said you could lose 2-3 rounds worth of energy just from the ring walk adrenaline. Right. So it's like if you working, okay, we working, and then you back. You gotta say you got a guy under control 6-7 rounds. You're trying to stay relaxed, say the rest for 9 through 12 maybe, and the next thing you know you get caught with something stupid because you taking then boom, you get hit with something. And that's one of those things where you got, man, any second now this guy can hurt me.
He's shown that. Anyway, has shown that you take a split of a split second off, and he's cracking you,
bruh. Remember what the second fight with Nonito on there and that Bama had on horsehair red asses, bruh. What he did, I was like, wait a minute, he got on 8-ounce red. Oh, this ain't good. Like you just knew. Oh, he about to blast shorty. He about to blast my man. Like, and how much I look. Because for people who don't know, I said it last time, I was saying it now. Nonito Donaire was in Inoue before Inoue came along. Like, remember he was putting dudes out. He was putting guys out. He wound up. It was like to me, I'll take that fight as like a passing of the torch. Those two fights. And I can't. It did for Nonito Donaire to break his own record, like the oldest to win the title in that division. It go back, like, man, I took my hat to him, man. Like, so he said I ain't never been hit that hard with a brick hook.
I'm telling you, man, that was vicious. We got Ben. He said Showbiz was actually fanboying in a way, claiming that he gets hate because he's not black.
Because he's not.
Although he's ranked number 1. I haven't heard nothing about that.
I saw a short clip, but I didn't continue because I had to go to a page, so I couldn't finish watching it.
Yeah, I can't really speak too much on that. I haven't heard nothing about that yet.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go back and watch the whole clip, the whole thing. And I'm like, my thing is that if, my opinion, Scooter should be getting the same love that Neway getting.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I'm not even gonna jump on it too hard right now because I already know what Scooter's about to do. Scooter's probably gonna go do. He's probably gonna do Undisputed. And when he
100%.
goes, and when he does that, he better get the same love.
Matter of fact, let me go
His
look.
name should be up there with Tapia, with all those top guys from back then. He should be up there with them when he does that. And I believe he can do that.
Oh,
You know,
he got that guy. I can't pronounce Ahmadali.
Let me see.
I can't pronounce that joint. They got them names, bro. I can't pronounce that joint. That guy's tough though. The Joker that just beat. He just beat.
Oh, Delayev. Yeah, Ahmad Delayev. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he just beat the. Damn it, man. So much stuff be happening in boxing. I can't just pull these names out like some of these other guys came. I'm glad y'all bear with me though. I'm glad y'all loyal enough to bear with me because I really be trying my hardest. Let me see. Who did he just beat?
But if he would have fight in New Way and he beats him like he beats Brandon, or even though I feel like New Way's better than Brandon, like all around.
Right.
But let's say he beats him that way, or he beats him like he beat that, or any of the guys he just fought. That would be a real telltale sign. They don't sit there and put that boy name with Tapia and Burrow, all those guys from the past, Junior Jones, all those guys from the past. That were little guys, the Mark Two Shop Johnsons, all those guys from 115 to 120, so like the tiny guys.
Right.
Because sadly, people forget that there's a weight class from you ain't singing. Like people forget that there's 100, there's 105 on the weight. Whatever, people forget that. But so you only really see, like for instance, Leroy Davila, he was an alternate, I think it was 112 or 108. Can't remember. But he turned pro and ate till he got to, and trained and ate in strength and condition till he got to 118, because that's where the money was. Because, at least he's going to get the TV time and all this other stuff.
Right.
So the guys from 115 to 126, in my opinion, Scooter, in my opinion, is already there. But if he does that and he gets he wins,
right,
Undisputed, Tapia, Junior Jones, Mark Two Shop Johnson, he should be up there with those names.
100%. I mean, the guy he's fighting is from Uzbekistan. That's where these guys come from with these names I cannot pronounce. Uzbekistan. I can say that though. The guy he just beat, Ronnie Rio. So he has the IBF and the WBA super bantamweight titles, and Fulton has the WBC and the WBO. So I think that's a fight that's very winnable, very doable for Steven. Some of the guys that are ranked in the top 15, we got Luis Neri, Lee McGregor.
Beats them.
Yeah, all those guys. All those guys. Luis Castillo.
Thanks, Kenichi.
Some of the most notable names. Carl Martin. He should clean this division up right now. With the guys that are in the top 15 right now, he should definitely clean that division up. Win Undisputed, and then, in a way next. So, which leads into our next topic. So we got...
Hold on 1 second.
Go ahead.
Ben said, yeah, he was saying that Cool Boy hasn't done anything close to New Way. Only reason why he's saying that is because New Way...
And anyways, with Top Rank, too, he got the backing.
Not just that, but... me, I've watched fights all around the world. So, and unfortunately, the fights in Japan that, like, great rivalries in Japan, Puerto Rico versus Japan, all those fights don't get broadcasted over here as much. Like, you really got to go look for it and find it and watch it.
He fought on a Tuesday at 6 a.m. I watched it, but nobody else was watching it. And I only watched it because I was at work.
And over there, those fights, I remember when the New Way first turned pro. Remember, I think I sent you a tape of him knocking out a dude early in his career. He had on half red, half white trunks. And I said, that's a New Way. And he put the dude was out before he hit the floor. That was like his fourth pro fight or whatever in Japan. He had already, the reason why Biz is saying that, is the only reason why he's saying that is because Scooter can't do what a New Way did and cut and kill himself to go down lower. So, and New Way turned pro as a baby, like Pacquiao, for instance, and was able to do this weight. Now he's where he is. So, and with Scooter, it's like, all right, if I could try to do that and probably be good, but my body gonna be killing me. So, so it's like he's kind of, I don't want to say he discrediting him because he's not in this room for me to say he's discrediting him and him to defend himself. And that's corny to me. And I see a lot of people do that jump. People do it in the comments. People do it when they shows. I would not do that to someone because you're not here to defend yourself. You probably, and for me to say what I disagree with and whatever. But he's saying that because Scooty can't cut that weight to get down to that. So it's understandable.
Wouldn't want him to do it. If anything, he got to go up.
You know, but in my opinion, you should be talking both. If Scooter wasn't that accomplished as Inoue or not even close, then why you even mention his name with him? Because guess who Inoue has to have his eye on? That guy. He has to have his eye on Lil Scooter from Philly. So, you know, it's all here. That's all hearsay or whatever.
Matter of fact, bro, I'm looking at the say Scooter go up, wins undisputed and goes up. I think this better fights at 126 than fighting Inoue. Isaac Dogbay, Josh Warrington, Navarrete, Ray Vargas, Robesi Ramirez.
He probably beats all of those names or has a tough fight with one of those names.
Robesi Ramirez, yo.
Yeah.
Folks don't really know too much about Robesi, and I don't know why they don't get him. He was a well-decorated amateur. They don't give him enough respect. He just beat the guy from New York with the blonde beard.
Abraham Nova.
Abraham Nova.
That's my guy. You remember I trained with him?
Tough. Yeah. Abraham Nova's a tough, very talented fighter. And Robesi went in there and did his thing, got the knockout against that guy. I didn't see another one that I didn't think, you know, a knockout would come. I thought that was gonna be a chess match boxing. But Robesi, he got really sneaky pop.
Man, really shout out to Supernova too. Supernova on his way back too. Yeah. Man, that's a good dude too.
Mauricio Lara, a lot of good fights for Cool Boy at 126. I think I'd rather see, honestly, I'm gonna change my mind. Joet Gonzalez, 126. I'd rather see.
He skunks Joet though.
Yeah, 100%. That's a good fight.
Yeah,
it's a hell of a fight. I'd rather see him go up and start cleaning this up. It's a lot of guys in the top 15 that, I mean, Michael Conlon.
I actually would want to see that.
Man,
more than
what?
any of them.
Yeah, Michael Conlon. Yeah, come on, man. I mean, the NOA talk is cool, but now I'm looking at this list right here. 126 for Cool Boy. Man,
4 more pounds.
Make that happen.
Instead of 7.
Make that happen. Brandon Figueroa's up there now. Not that I probably want to see that fight again, but
Nah. Especially after that bull that he said in the press, the post-fight, John. Like, come on, man.
Kiko Martinez. Come on, man. 126 is loaded right now.
That'll be a rugged fight, but he beats him. That'll be a rugged fight, but he beats him.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Catch
I like
point
126. Guard. Mark Moxio's up there.
How you missed that? You supposed to be a point guard.
Raymond Ford. That's another one. Young guy. That's another guy we got to keep our eyes on.
That might be a chess match, no bull.
Raymond Ford is nice, yo. Raymond Ford is real nice.
And they tried to discredit that boy because he had a draw.
Yeah. And no, don't do that. He tough.
That man can fight.
He tough, man.
That man can fight.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Coach Anthony. That man can fight.
Lee Wood. Leo Santa Cruz. Ooh, stop playing. Matter of fact, when is Leo coming back?
I don't really care if Leo Santa Cruz comes back.
He's accomplished. He's done enough. 4 divisions.
And 2 with the knockout that he took. Because he did fight. I think he already had a comeback fight.
Did he?
Mm-hmm. It was on a pay-per-view.
I ain't see. I must not bought that one.
Let me go to it and check. But basically, my whole thing is he already was fighting nonstop, fought multiple weight classes.
Mm-hmm.
So for me personally, after the type of knockout that he took, rest as much as you want, brother.
Right.
You deserve it.
Made his money.
You deserve it. Go ahead, take
Hall
as much rest as you need.
Mm-hmm. Let me look it up real quick. Get up Leo Santa Cruz.
And when you come back, don't feel like you got to stay long. Come as long as you want.
Mine ain't working.
Oh, that's just box right. That's what that happens sometimes with boxers. Just hit the other link to box right. I'm going to it now.
Yeah, you probably got more better luck than me. It ain't pulling enough for me.
And you know, it's unfortunate that he got caught the way he got caught.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because now that's all people talk about.
Shit out of Tank. He was boxing shit out of Tank.
That knockout will help you. Will have you forget the performance he put on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, that's what I thought. He fought Carbajal.
Mm-hmm.
He fought Carbajal in February.
Okay.
Because he took a whole year and he took like 16 months off. He took like 16 months off.
Right. I don't remember that.
You know, so
this bam gotta go.
What?
Go get your brother, man. Go get your brother.
He ain't bothering nothing. What up, man? He ain't bothering nothing, man.
Take him.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
You ain't bothering nothing, man. What up? What up, man? What up, nephew? Ooh. What up, nephew?
He ain't bothering. He like Dennis the Menace. Part 2.
Man, hey, what's up, man?
But look, y'all. So look, another topic.
Let's go.
Another one. Let's go ahead and knock this one out. 2023 must see, a fight that you must see, a fight that you want to see, that you'll pay $100 for the pay-per-view to watch this fight.
You go first. I already got mine. I know what I'm gonna say.
This fight has been in the talks. It's been talked about. It's been negotiated. I think we probably will get this fight in 2023.
Well,
I'm going with Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. I love this fight. I can't wait to see this fight. It's got to happen. Caleb Plant coming off that emphatic victory over Anthony Durrell. David Benavidez just being who he is, the boogeyman that nobody really wants to fight.
Yeah.
I mean, this fight got everything, the build-up, the beef, everything is leading up to them finally meeting at that pinnacle. And I think this is a huge fight for 168. And we finally going to get to see, is David what he really is.
But ain't it something, though, that how people are saying they ready to see that instead of Canelo? They're starting to, like, they still saying Canelo and Benavidez, but you're starting like, whoa, you know what? Really like to see Caleb, like, because people kind of getting tired of the waiting almost.
Right. I mean, Canelo's so here still. It's almost not worth talking about it because we know he ain't gonna fight David no time soon. Would I love to see that fight? Yeah, but a fight that's like really close to happening, that's realistic. Caleb Plant, David Benavidez in 2023. I think that's a huge fight for boxing, huge fight for the division, man. I can't even really pick them yet.
Anybody against Tank? Those 4 guys.
Anybody against Tank?
Yeah, those 4 is because I want to see my guy make some. I want to see my guy make as much money as he can. Sure. But yeah, that fight.
Okay.
Don't you think so, Sabrina?
So you talking about like Tank versus Shakur, Devin, Ryan, all those guys, those guys.
Those, I see Mr. Ben said, I don't know, that 5th round Tank was savaging Leo's body. We're not saying he didn't.
Yeah.
Like, we're not saying he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
The point being is, just like Mario Barrios, they both put on great performances that made Tank better. They made Tank have to work. They made Tank have to show his skills. Some of the skills, because I know all of Tank's skills, and he showed some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think so, man? Yeah,
that's a fact.
It's like, so it's, to me, with those fights, yeah, Tank was throwing good shots and everything, but we're not gonna sit there. Like I said, we're not gonna discredit Leo like he wasn't in there. Like he wasn't just a body in it that night. He wasn't no opponent. He wasn't just a body. He wasn't no old guy. He was in there working.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a stupid mistake by throwing the same punch, same speed 2 times, 3 times. You can't get away. You can't 3 times. You can't get away with that with no pro. I don't give a damn. It could do record could be 11-5.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't getting away with that with no pro. Right. No pro.
Right.
So, and Tank, okay. Oh, no. All right, there it is. Boom. Left hook, go to sleep. Nighttime. So.
That's the fight that really catapulted Tank to where he is now, Leo Santa Cruz. That knockout that went viral, that was on that was on like the source. That was on hip hop, whatever. That was on everybody's
even
page.
The pages who don't care nothing about boxing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden want to post Shakur and Tank and all that other stuff. Yeah, my mixtapes and all that.
Yeah, that Piff and all them joints. Like, yeah, he was all over.
And I get it because he transcends. Mm-hmm. I get it, but at the same time, it's like, no, not on your shirt, not on your pants. So it's like, don't give me no huff and puff because I took away your boligrafo, no boligrafo. All right, tu escribir, no es tu escribir. Don't write. Mm-hmm. It's like, but he can own. He, to me, still showed up, and when Mr. Dirk was in here, remember he said, man, nobody was gonna beat Mario that night, right? Because how he fought, and we know he did damage to Mario, but Mario still fought his heart out to where you gonna say, man, I tip my hat to that dude, bro.
100%.
That's all. That's 100%. It. That's all.
Yeah, just giving those guys their flowers. Like we know who and what Tank is, but he wasn't fighting no slouches. Man. Yeah, 2023, man. 2023. Damn, this year went by fast.
No, what's crazy though? It's and I'm gonna elaborate more on it because of what's supposed to happen next week. Mm-hmm. But when I say my thanks and everything for everything, But the crazy part is, go ahead, nephew. Go ahead, Sabrina. The thing is, for me, is it's crazy how after some of the events that was going on with me, and you was like on the middle of the phone call, all of us were on the phone. Man, don't worry about that, man. Don't worry about it. You gonna be all right. And what was it? 2 weeks later, we get a call to come here. Yeah. It was less than it was about a week or two. We just get a call. Hey, yeah, but we get a message and then we get a call.
Divine timing, man.
It's crazy, and it was just I could just think a week ago when we was in here talking, putting all this together. We trying to figure out what the hell we going to do and what the name will be. And next thing you know, we like, bro, is this really happening? And you just said, yup, soak it up, bro. And I was nervous. And then all of a sudden, it was hot outside. Now it's cold. It's like just that quick. Them 6, what was it? What, 6 months, 7 months? Quick.
It ain't been that long. It's been since the summer. We got Black Belt Ben. Again, he said, I agree that they put up a good fight. I'm just saying Tank is a smaller fighter, so he's going to lose rounds to good boxers. Bigger fighters because he has to work his way in. I'm a huge Tank fan. I mean, he does have a point there. He does have a point. I can't really argue that. That's a good point. Tank had to work his way in. Kind of made Mario look a little bit better in that fight. He was landing shots that he was going to land because Tank's trying to work his way in to land his shot. So I definitely feel him on that.
You know who he worked with?
Who's that?
He worked with Mike Fox to help him get ready for Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah. We worked with Mike with the Fest. We worked with Fest. So it's the thing is that, and people always got all of this to say about him, even with the bruise he had on his forehead from the Rolly fight. Oh, he get hit too much. All this stuff. The dude is smaller.
Right.
He has to give you throwaway shots. He has to give you different slides and dips and head movement, foot placement to get to where he wants to go, to get the damage done that he wants to get done.
And that's what I've been saying that about Canelo, man. If Canelo wants to beat Bivol, he's going to have to do some of the things that Tank do to get inside and land them kind of punches. But I don't think Canelo's a risk taker like that. He don't want to take those kind of risks.
It's not that he's not a risk taker. It's that the holes aren't there. And then on top of the holes not being there, he has to create them. But also what makes it difficult is what we discussed about before and how his skill sets are, whatever. But then him hitting this guy and the guy not fucking moving. And I'm saying it from experience, from being me. My father always had me sparring guys bigger than me. I rarely ever got, when I was getting ready for stuff, I rarely ever got the chance to work with guys my size. And you hitting this Bama, and why ain't you moving? Like, can you at least lean back? Like, you ain't gotta, I don't want you to take a couple steps back. Like, I really hurt it. You ain't gotta do it, but at least make me feel good. Can you at least go, ooh, like something? Make me feel a little bit more confident in myself. Like, move your big ass out the way.
Canelo was loading. Yeah, he was working him to the body, but it was so loaded he had time to really brace and adjust to take those body shots. He gonna have to find a way to say, damn it, you know what? I'm gonna have to take these 2 or 3 punches in order to get my one punch that I know is gonna land effectively. You're gonna have to catch him in between somewhere. Maybe Bivol's throwing a hook in his head and Canelo's hitting him here when he's not ready for that punch.
But everything is so tight.
Everything is so tight. But Canelo, pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world. You the guy. Everybody's saying is the best Mexican fighter to
Mr.
do it.
wanted to go up to cruiserweight.
That's what I'm saying. So if you that guy, find a way. You're going to have to get into one of those Mexican-style fights that all the greats did. One of those kind of fights and really sacrifice to beat Bivol. He ain't going to go in there and beat Bivol like he beat Billy Joe and he beat the other guy from over there. Who's the taller dude? Blew his bicep.
Callum Smith.
Callum Smith blew his bicep. You were not going to beat, Canelo will not beat Bivol the way he beat those guys. He's too skillful. His body's solid. He's tough. And he sees it. He saw all that shit Canelo was throwing before it was even landing. He was ready for all of that shit. So, yeah, Canelo got to go in there and be ready to put on one of those classic Mexican performances if he's going to beat Bivol. He ain't going to go in there and box him. Ain't no way in hell, man. But you want to come on the camera and say something? You over here. Come on. Sit on my lap, bro. You about 6'5". Come on, bro. Come on, man. Come on. Come on the show, man. This is my other son, man. This is my other son right here, man. This is my other guy.
He's supposed to be a star, but he's scared to come to the camera.
This my other guy, man. 6 years old. He about 6'5" already. This guy, man, phenomenal athlete. Hell of a quarterback. Receiver.
Snag a tooth, you know.
Beast that corner, locks the corner down, sets the edge.
He think he prime time already.
I'm telling you, baseball player. Throws that apple. Got a crazy arm on him. Got a bat on him like Ken Griffey Jr. I'm telling you. I mean, you see, look.
You know who Ken Griffey is?
Patrick Mahomes Jr. Look at him. Patrick Mahomes Jr. right here. Now he playing basketball. He think he's Steph Curry, but we gonna see.
Look at him nod his head. Yeah.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry.
Talk your stuff, nephew. Yeah, Sabrino. Yeah,
so we got to work on
Sabrino.
that jumper. We got to work on that jumper. You're going to be Curry, but for sure, a baseball.
You going to send him to my mother?
My mama too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
sure.
I would hate to see them two together. They
sure.
probably come from the same school of coaching. Like, oh, God, that'll be so horrible. Oh,
this
man.
This guy be shadow boxing.
Every time he see me, he put his hands up like, hey, T.O. Like, oh, no, you got it.
I got both the children here with me today, man. It's Friday. I'm all work, so I had to bring the kids with me. He off school for winter break, you know. Brought this little joke up here with me today, man.
Man, go to school. Why you skipping school for? Why you like your dad say you're supposed to have school?
It's all love, man. But yeah, man, what we got? We got Black Belt Ben. He said Canelo doesn't have the athletic ability to take advantage of the same things Tank can exploit. That's true. That's why I'm saying
his feet are slightly slower.
He has that classic. Not gonna say it's a classic Mexican style because it's a fight like a Mexican. He gonna have to dig into his heritage and fight like a Mexican to beat Bivol. And walk
at
through.
What cost?
At any cost necessary to get that W. He may have to touch the canvas. I said that Canelo may have to get up off the canvas to beat Bivol.
Yeah, but
bro, think about it though. Canelo, he's accomplished so much.
Mm-hmm.
He's at the point where he could retire and be done.
Of course,
and be considered for the Hall of Fame.
And he doesn't need this rematch, but he says he wants it.
He don't need it, and that's the thing. He wants it. So if you want it that bad, go get it. You're gonna have to go get this fight. And if he goes and beats Bivol in a fantastic way where he pulls himself off the canvas, he may get hurt. We may see Canelo hurt like we've never seen him hurt before. Stumbled, wobbled, buzzed, legs gone. But find a way to will his way to get this fight. He gonna have to, I'm telling you, he has to go get Bivol. Go get him and walk through some shit and find a way. To get to that chin and put Bivol out. He gonna have to knock him out. I don't think he can beat him boxing.
You know what? Before I really speak, I have to watch more tape because I've watched Bivol since he was an amateur.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't show a hole in the Canelo fight. He looked like Bivol right. That I've always known to be, but better pro, polished. But even that daggone Zerdo fight.
Zerdo, yeah. Oof.
He demolished him. He demolished him, bro. Like it was no contest. It was no contest.
Mm-hmm.
He love you, man. Every time you go smile on his face.
We almost done, y'all. We almost done.
He can't. I gotta watch more tape and see where can Canelo get at, because that same stuff they do, as you can see from the first fight, is not gonna work. He has to. One thing I do agree with you on, things have to be there in between the exchange, which is gonna have to make a sacrifice to stay inside the pocket and get certain shots off. But it's at what cost? Because just a little shot. The reason why I say at what cost, because even the little shots he was getting hit with. Not saying they were little, but I'm saying it wasn't as high
right.
volume.
It wasn't high caliber
you
punches.
You could see Canelo come back to the like he had to really suck up some air for a second. Like he wasn't exhausted, but he couldn't go to 90 miles an hour if he wanted to. He had to stay coasting at 60. So it's in. I'm gonna say it from my experience, and my experience, I've been in there with guys who, that were bigger than me, that could punch a little bit, that were my weight or bigger weight, whatever. And you get hit with a shot, it's like, my dad, I told him, like, my dad comes up, what we gotta worry about? If dad sees it, and then he'll tell me, and he said, all right, now what you see, do you see anything we need to worry about? So nobody, and I'll be like, no, yeah, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Whatever shot that he's getting hit with that's bothering him, that makes it a little more difficult for you to then go inside and do that, because now you got to worry about trying to take that away from him. Then you got to worry about not getting hit by certain shot. Then you're trying to worry about, what do I feign him to draw that shot out just so I can get him out there with that shot, then make my decision. It's so many things that have to be compact. And then the biggest thing is Canelo got to move his damn feet. What do I always say about Canelo? Matter of fact, before I answer it, what did you guys think about Shakur's response to Tank saying that he cracked him and saying that? I'll say that next.
What did he say? Hold on.
He's talking about the Shakur thing about when Tank said he cracked him.
By saying he never been hurt in sparring or a fight, but there's a video. Oh yeah, that's I do want to talk about that because
Yeah.
we talk about that in a second.
So this is my thing about Cinnamon. Ben, tell me if I'm lying. This is my opinion. You could go, just tell me like, yeah, no, I kind of agree, whatever. If you ain't got a decent jab and no footwork, that man will look like immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
That man would be in there looking like Trinidad. He in there looking like Sugar Ray Robinson. He give me all. I mean, Canelo looks spectacular, but as soon as you got some footwork and a respectable, commanding jab, he looked like me in a sundown town trying to find a gas station down in the country, trying to find directions. I don't know where the hell I'm going or what I'm supposed to be doing. And then he sits on the stool. Eddie tells him nothing. Plan B is plan A. Mm-hmm. And we've seen that a multitude of times. That's why, and he has to be able to move his neck, because you already know what Bivol's going to do. It's a hop in, hop out. Hop in, hop out, turn. Hop in, hop out, hop in, hop out, turn. And sometimes he's still here, but he swings his back foot here. So it's like boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Every time. Yeah. If you don't have no, and he says, and Ben just said, yeah, you lunch me if you don't have good feet and a jab. I don't give a damn who you are. With my father, man, all that stuff look good, but man, do you have a jab? And that boy, it was nothing flashy about it. It was just here and it was just commanding. It was there. And that is going to be the biggest issue. Can Canelo move his damn feet to even give him a throwaway, to then step to the distance he needs to, and then turn his feet if he needs to, slide here, slide here. He's going to have to push himself past his comfortability a little bit because he doesn't always pivot that way.
He don't push himself past where it's comfortable because he hasn't had to.
Exactly.
He really hasn't had to. And like my whole point was when he was talking about how Tank take those risks, like Tank could eat 4 or 5 jabs in a row in succession. Like, okay, this is what he got, boom. Okay, this is what I got to do to get inside that jab, boom. Canelo get tapped with that jab. You don't never see him try to get inside of it. Other than winging that one looping ass hook to the body.
And then he'll get there and start shifting and shoot whatever.
And then it's only one at a time. So he'll throw one, boom. That don't work. He'll throw another one, boom. It's never boom, boom, boom. Or boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, unless he's this close to you, then he'll shoot the 4 and 5 shots. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
The rhythm is never changed. It's always the same pace, the same rhythm with his shots, especially when he's going to the body. Change it up. You have to, like I say, find a way to beat Bivol. That same shit he been doing, scratch that, rip that game plan in half, rip that whole playbook up and throw it away. Y'all got to go back to the drawing board to beat Bivol. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen unless they change shit drastically. A whole new fight style. But yeah, let's talk about the
interview with
Let's read
Tank.
the comment again. He said, what did you guys think about Shakur's response to Tank saying he cracked him by saying he had never been hurt in sparring or a fight, but there's a video of him admitting he was hurt against Valdez? My most honest opinion, I think the whole sparring shit is so silly.
Yep.
When guys get to talking about who hurt who in sparring, I mean, it's so silly because you don't even know what the workout was, what work they did before they even got into
what weaknesses they were working on.
Right. Because I'm never been a fighter, but being around all the gyms and a bunch of fighters and trainers and managers and shit and coaches, sparring is like a scrimmage. That's where you get better. You're not going in there and try to hurt nobody, kill nobody in sparring. You're going there to work on your craft and maybe you try to learn a new combination or learn something new to implement in your next fight. That's where you work on it on is in sparring. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the whole thing with him and Shakur, maybe he did touch Shakur, maybe he did buzz Shakur, but how long had Shakur been in the gym before Tank showed up? What was Shakur doing before he got to the gym and they sparred for whatever 2 or 3 rounds or whatever it was? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of tit for tat. Unless you was there, you really don't know, because either guy gonna say whatever. You know, I don't really hold too much weight on sparring, and I mean he did admit that he might have been hurt against Valdez. I mean I don't know, but you know, being hurt, what is being hurt? You know, because it can go either way. Like you see guys fight hurt all the time where they say a hurt fighter is a dangerous fighter. So I mean, what weight does that hold in the debate against Tank versus Shakur? I mean, sparring don't really mean too much to me. What you got to say, bro?
I mean, it's all ego. It's all it is. It's all ego. I mean, at a high level, you will get buzzed. You just and not show. Like, remember I was talking about earlier where you buzz and you, but the other guy don't know. Man, I could watch plenty of tapes of fighters and seen that and I could point it out. You know, because it's normal. You know, it's normal because you getting hit with 8 ounces. It's 8-ounce gloves. You know, so it's normal. But right now, you talk about two guys in the same weight class who may fight a mega fight and they going there, it's ego. That's all, you know. So, but when it comes to the sparring thing, in my opinion, I've never, y'all have heard me, and BINK knows this, a lot of guys know, I done sparred a lot of guys, like a lot of freaking guys. And it took different people to tell me, like, dude, you in the ring with this dude, this dude, this dude, this dude, this dude. And it's times where, matter of fact, I'll use me as an example. When Lil Bad Man was in here, Jay, he could have easily talked about, man, I got Junior that one time we sparred. Cause he did. We sparred and I had nothing for him that day. I had nothing for him. He outclassed. You know, and he was so strong. I couldn't pivot. The first 2 times I was able to pivot a little more. Could not do it this time. He ain't come in and do that. Or me say, hey, yeah, one time pivot, he couldn't. That's my guy right there. That's my teammate. We were in a stable trying to help him get ready for nationals, and I was just appreciative that he even asked and wanted me to be his partner. Like, man, you want me? I got another memory I could tell my nephews when growing up. Like, you know, when they grow up, you know, that to me is just, I just never did that. I never seen my father do it, and I never did it. I just
talking about sparring,
like I remember when you gave me an example of sparring in your sport. You was like, bro, you know how many times I'll be in practice, dude want to say he want to put on his highlight that he got one on me, but he don't want to show the other times he didn't even get off the line on me.
100%. Practice film don't lie, man. It's the same thing in football. You know, you do one-on-one drills, like a one-on-one period. And
that's made for the quarterback and the wide receiver.
The one-on-one drill is made for the quarterback and the receiver to shine. It's not made for the defensive back. So we go in there and we working on our coverage. Coach want to see our footwork, how we stemming inside, we taking away the slant, you know, how we roll to different coverage.
Talk your shit, boy.
That's what the coach is looking for us when we doing one-on-ones.
Y'all, I love this part where BINK get y'all, because y'all don't know this BINK. Y'all don't know Hitman 2.0. And I love that this dude played at the holler, and I love this part where he sit there and talk about how good it goes. Go.
Because folks post all the time. You see on like Max Preps, they post one-on-one videos of receivers routing DBs, cooking them, but you don't know that DB wasn't there to really clamp it up. The coach is looking for small things, foot, read steps. Are you taking that step inside to take away the slant, take away the post?
Hips.
Right. How do your hips look? How did you get back into the play? Even though you didn't get back and break up the pass, did you get back in position to break up the pass? How bad did you get beat? Those are things that a defensive back coach is looking at during one-on-ones. He's not looking. I mean, yeah, if you make the play, you get the pick or you do whatever, that's great. But even though you got beat on that rep, it's not a bad rep if your technique was good. That's what we working is technique. We're not working to go look good for a highlight on somebody's Instagram in a one-on-one drill. So when I'm thinking about sparring, it's kind of the same thing. Like, y'all probably ain't working combinations, working your head movement, working foot placement, stepping outside, things like that. It's not in there to make somebody look bad. So when guys post all that sparring and shit, like, I don't really care to see. I don't even really entertain it. I don't like it. I don't share it, none of that shit. That's my opinion, bro. I'm sorry.
And nah, it's the truth, man. It's like, all right, you know, but I get it because they basically are gonna fight each other. Hopefully in the near future, that's what it looks like it's gonna build to. You know, it's gonna be palpable if Tank gets past these next 2 fights. It's gonna really be palpable. So it's almost like, bruh, it makes 0 sense. Like, all right, you cracked them. And, and then you got fighters, you know, like I say, it's an ego thing. Fighters will always say, you know, I cracked them, or I'm never hurt. I never been hurt, man. I never been hurt ever. And to me, you lying to yourself. Right. But I get it because it's a mask up of everything is about. You know how many times I've been in camps with guys and I done seen them. I might get off on them or whatever, whether we working light or working on certain techniques, or I see them going hard with someone else and that guy gets the best of them that day. But we're behind closed doors. But when you get to the fight, that guy is still looked at as invincible because nobody knows his weaknesses. Nobody knows what's going on in camp. So he still has this aura of, man, nobody getting through to this guy, man. No, whatever, right? So it's like that almost. So it's like, yeah, man, I ain't never hurt, man. Never hurt, bro.
For sure.
When actually, how I've always been, to me, well, how I would have looked if I would have said, man, I got dropped, but I got up, man. That joint was a flash. It didn't even hurt me. I was fine. Oh, man, y'all watch. It was so many people there watching. Who am I to get on the interview and lie? It was so many people that got arrested. So Tim can work all the guys. Man, who am I? Sugar Wayne, all of them. Sugar Wayne was there. Keyshawn Williams was there. Like, who am I to lie? This man was standing right there.
Right.
Yeah, man, I wasn't hurt. That on my leg stumbled because I tripped. Like, come on, man. Like, come on now. Right. Come on. Like, why lie for? Yeah. For me, I feel like I'm more real and I show more humility by saying, man, we both threw hooks at the same time. I got fucking caught. I got caught. But I'm glad that I found that because I had never been dropped before that point. Yeah. And I was like, so I really do want to fight. I really do want to be a fighter. I got up, sucked it up, and then I closed the show the way I was supposed to. All right, cool. You know, I feel like for me, I can't speak for other guys. I only can speak for myself. But for me, that's how I've always handled it and looked at it. And that also comes to how I was raised in the gym. You know, so that's just how I've always looked at it.
No, for sure. I definitely feel you on that. Black Belt Benny said, I agree with you. I just hear fighters trying to make it seem like Tank just being there trying to knock people out and not working on things like they are. That's 100% cap. And I can say this from personal experience, watching Tank spar at the gym up at Headbangers. He was in there with Isaac Dogbay. He was in there with Africa, like you just mentioned, Africa. He sparred Scooter, Derek Davis, like the local Scooter, not Stephen Fulton Scooter. And he sparred those three guys. And I think he was supposed to spar, was it Tyreek?
Yes.
He was supposed to spar Tyreek, but they was arguing over the gloves because Tank wanted him to spar.
Said, nah, man, I think it was winnings, right? He wanted him in winnings or something?
He wanted him to fight. He wanted to spar him in like 16s.
Oh, 16.
But I think they only had like, it was like 14s or something like that. But he wanted him to spar. He said, I ain't gotta spar you, Tank or Javante. I ain't gotta spar you or whatever. So they ended up working it out, or not working out. They didn't spar because of the gloves. He wanted certain ounces. Tank wanted certain ounces. But that wasn't Tank in there trying to hurt none of those guys. In there trying to knock nobody out. All those sparring sessions, they were calculated sparring sessions. They all rotated in and out with each other, and it was competitive sparring, but it wasn't hard. Like, I'm going to knock you out sparring. Tank was in there trying to hurt none of those guys. They was actually getting good work in there, good work. So all that Tank being there trying to knock people out shit is cap. I mean, he may catch somebody with something clean because of who he is and what he got in his arsenal. He may catch you clean and hurt you, but I don't think he in there intentionally trying to hurt people in sparring. Like, Tank's really a humble dude outside of what y'all see in the ring and everything like that, and all, you know, the back and forths on Twitter. When he in the gym, he really in there to work. He not in there for no nonsense. Tank going to the gym to work. So whatever these people be talking about or whatever, man, that's all cap. That's all cap.
Even like the Ivic Red catch one. Yeah, that's when he trying to take your head off. And you hear him going when he throw his shots. He wasn't trying to knock some of them guys out, man.
100%.
Trust me, I done see. I can tell y'all some stories.
Good work.
But trust, I can tell y'all some stories off the air, or if about that boy cracking. If he really wanted to crack, like for instance, if me and Bing was to take you to go see Tank spar, and he spar, watch he packed.
Oh, he did spar Pat that day too. He sparred Pat, yeah. That was really competitive. Him and Pat about.
And you would think they trying to kill each other, but no. And like me watching it, I've been in them type of spawns that you know each other so well. You know who just spawned the other day? Makai and Jalil. You watch that and think, man, if you don't know, or if you ain't never been in a sponsor, like, oh no, they just working. They working real good. Like, they not trying to kill each other. They ain't babysitting each other, but they ain't trying to kill each other. Right. You know, and that's basically what it is. You know, but you know, it's
out of hand nowadays. Don't
you think?
It's sparring. People put too much on sparring, and people post too much sparring.
Don't say the name.
I ain't gonna say no names.
But remember the names that you heard that I was in the ring with, and remember I think I came to you for advice because I felt uncomfortable by people. Like, yeah, yo, so I heard you did such a. Nah, man, he could have hurt me whenever he wanted to because he had a weight advantage. I was trying to help him. Right. Trying to help each other, you know, help him get to the bag, you know. That's what the shit is for. Like, I'm happy that I got a memory to tell my nephews that already think I'm a superhero as it is. I'm an achy ass superhero if anything. What's my superpower? Like, but you know, it's like, man, nah, this is a memory. I can tell. Like, no, that's a luxury. Why would you, you know? And it's like, no, why would you do that? Like, no, you don't. Guys now, I get it. It's the social media. It's One clip can get you 100,000 followers overnight. You know, one contract can get you 1 million followers overnight. I understand it, but the code that I was taught that to live by, and it's crazy now looking at my age and where I am about to be 33. And like, man, I was basically, we were on that fringe right when social media, when we had the sidekicks and then started, and then went from you had to go home and get on the computer to get on the internet. Now it's all in your hand 24/7, and then switch over and do it. And remember, those were the first viral. You had to go on YouTube to watch something and things like that. I get it, you know, there's a lot of opportunity with that, but there was still an etiquette that I was taught. I never seen my dad do that. I've never seen James Baker, Daryl Coley, my dad, Andrew Council, Keith Holmes, Shavon Mitchell, Mr. Joppy. I should be saying Mr. to all of those names. Sorry guys, my apologies. But all those guys, never seen them do that. Never once. Now if they are not, like, even when they all reminiscing together, a civilian could come in there to talk, they'll stop that. Because, you know, when you're talking with your contemporaries, you can sit there, man, you remember that shit? You know what? You could do that. But once a civilian walk in, they don't know the code.
Right.
They don't know about what go on in these walls. So you don't do that.
Right. 100%.
And that shit really, really bothers me. Like, I got out on such and such and such. All right. And the thing that pisses me off is they'll do that, and then they wind up fighting. They might win their next fight, but the next 2-3 fights later, they get blown out by a dude they was supposed to beat.
Right. That's a fact, too.
This sport is a humbling ass sport, man. I've always say, man, hey, man, stay humble. Right. You know, walk with a quiet confidence. My mother say, walk with a quiet confidence. Speak softly, carry a big stick. Because when you start walking around past confident to arrogant, the same people you see on my father, you see the same people you see on your way up, you're going to see on your way down. It might be on the way down to that canvas. And it's going to be embarrassing. You ain't going to feel more alone than that night. And I don't think people understand that. No, I never saw, I heard about it. Ben said, did you see the Tank and Norman sparring when they said, I heard, as soon as it was about to happen, I was getting text messages. I was getting calls and things like that. Norman, do you know about this kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, his dad was a good fighter too, you know, so I already knew the kid could fight. I knew what type of sponsorship. Now, once I got the text, I said, oh, that's going to be a doozy. Like, and then when I knew where it was at Grindhouse with Coach Mustafa, and I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I'm getting these text messages, and more I'm looking at it, it's like, oh, shit. Like, you already know what type of time it's on. And for people who don't know, Kenichi, have you ever been in a no clock spawn session? Or been in a long timer spawn session? It's a bitch, ain't it, if you ain't all the way right? So for people who watch who don't know, when you walk in, as I've done them, I sparred 3 guys at one time where they was switching them randomly in and out, and I got switched in and out. Oh Lord Jesus. My grandmama praise was with me that boy. Swear to God. Like, yo, it's so when they turn off the clock, it is what it sounds like. The clock is off. Basically, God, I hate to have to say it like this, but I can't think of no other way to say it. It's because of what we was talking about earlier. It's hard for me to. I can't think of no other way to say it, but say it this way, and it's gonna sound bad. It is what it is, though. It's taken back to the old days. You're gonna fight to the death, or till both coaches say our kids have done well. If you got 2 logical coaches who ain't sitting there living through their damn kid and they know that they ain't taking none of the punches and letting them keep going and going and going, they'll say, like, when I was in it, Coach Timmons, I think I went, the longest session I went, it was 36 minutes. They tallied it up. It was like 36 minutes. We went like 12 rounds. But the longest I went at one point, before they said, all right, switch, get out, Junior, I was 6 minutes and 32 seconds. I went straight. And it wasn't no, like, nah, we was here. I still don't. I was like, thank God my sickle cell wasn't been up that day. Like, God, dog.
I'll be on the heavy bag for 5-6 minutes. I'm like, bro, I don't know how the fuck they do this, I don't know how they do this, bro. Like,
man. And another time I was in there for 4 minutes. Then I was in there for 5 minutes. Then he put me in for 2, then 3. You know, so I was in it nonstop. And it all added up to 36. And they was switching 3 guys on me. Then when you do long clock, you'll have some clocks you can order one that does 3, 2, 3, 4. They'll do all the amateur minutes. They'll do 1, 2, 3. Then you got the other one that you do like 5 and 6, whatever. Or you'll do a stopwatch and just go, all right, we're gonna do 5-minute rounds. Click and hit the stopper and do 1-minute breaks or 30-second breaks or whatever the case may be. And from what I heard when it happened, that I think it was, I forget who started. It probably was Coach Mustafa since it's his gym. He probably said, all right, that's another. You ready? That's another tank. You know how many rounds? Because he probably looked at it as they were going, like, clock. Looking at his watch. Okay, that's 4 rounds. All right, like treating it like a pro fight almost. Looking at the time, like, all right, cool. All right, yeah, that's enough. All right, yeah, so yeah, that's already 30 minutes. You know, he probably did it that way. Said, all right, y'all, that was beautiful. Probably got in the ring and said, all right, that's beautiful. And everybody clapped it up, and that was it. You know, but yeah, I did hear about it, and I did hear that he really handled himself very well with Tank, and that's something that really boosted his confidence, and that's what you want to hear, you know, and that was real good. But I hated that afterwards, everybody was like, oh yeah, he gave Tank the business, and man, Tank was this, that, and the third, or was out of shape, and all this other junk. I'm like, y'all want to see a fighter downfall that damn bad, bro? Like, come on, man. You know, so it's like
20 rounds. Damn. Yeah, I ain't even see it. I've seen some of the old Mayweather gym sparring sessions when they turn the clock off and it's like doghouse rules. I've seen some of those with Tank, but I ain't see this one.
So this is how it worked, BINK. I think I told you a little. Well, I did tell you a little bit about, because I told you about when I got caught. With different ones like that one. So this one, how it worked. Coach Tim was like, God rest his soul. We get up there to Old School. And this is one when Old School was across from Opposite Mall. Go up the stairs, we get ready. There's 4 of us in there. Me, my teammate Boogie, Kendall Brooks, dude, I forget this guy's name. I think his name was Saber. And then they kept calling him Sabertooth or something like that. Good kid. But and next thing you know, I started it off. It was me and Kendall started off, switched, then it was me and Boogie. Then it was me and Sabertooth. Then and something wound up happening. But it was they had the clock and something wound up happening. He said, "You know what? Turn the clock off." So he turned the clock right before we start, and Tim go, he got to start what he walking like a sergeant, right? He goes, we about to find out who really want to box, right? Who really in shape, and we gonna go till somebody drop. Right. And he had the heat on in the gym, bro. Yeah. It was like 102 in that month.
Oh, no, that's crazy.
So we was dying in there, man. We was like, I mean, that right there made me think about you wearing a football helmet in the summer. Like, this got to be that. Cause all right, man. All right. How bad that night let me know, oh, I really do want to be a fighter. You know, I always say there's guys who want to be boxers but don't want to be fighters. I was like, okay, so I do. My father told me, like, oh, he want it. He wants it. You know, cause that right there, if it was any time to quit, nobody would have looked at me sideways. But I was in one time where one guy couldn't take it. He quit. He wound up taking his headgear off. He got 8 counted. Took his headgear off. We looked. Cause I remember I was in there. I go to the corner. You know, when they're moving, you gotta rotate so you don't bump. Cause they might come and bump you. So you go. So I he's like, Dad, you do this. Where the other dude go? Like, dude, man. When I say we look, he in the corner. Look back, he gone. All you saw was a headgear on the floor, bruh.
Damn.
Dude, we never saw him again. And dude really was good.
Yeah.
I think it was just cause He was in there with higher caliber guys. He felt like that shouldn't have happened that soon.
Right.
Maybe I think that, but he could have been good, man.
Right.
But that's also the catch-22 of those things. You could ruin guys, man. You could mess up some money. You could mess up potential money with certain fighters with that.
It's a whole lot of guys that could have been phenomenal football players, but them Oklahoma drills said, "Nah, I'm gonna go hoop."
Oh, you know what? One thing
I'm gonna go hoop.
Man, you know what? One thing I learned from your sport, you know, the dog pounds and sparring days let me know the guys who put it like this, and then I'm gonna cross-reference into you. The guys who forgot their hand wraps and forgot their mouthpieces, and those dudes stood in the back of the line, and it shows in their older age. And in your sport, the guys who stood in the back all of a sudden slid to the back of the line during the Oklahoma drill. Shows in their older age today and how they act and carry themselves.
That's why I preach it, man. I preach athletics. I preach sports. It's so important for our youth. It's so important for our young men and their development to face some sort of adversity and know how to overcome. You have to. You have to. If you're going to be a grown man and actually contribute to society and raise kids, ain't no way you can quit. I can't look at my 2 kids saying, "Dad, I'm hungry," and fade to the back of the line. I can't. And these are things that you put your young boys and your young girls into sports and let the coach and let the coach be hard on them and let them go through things, because it's all calculated. There's nothing to break your child or take their confidence away. It's to build them. You put them through things that are tough that you know they can get through to build them. And those are moments they'll never forget as they grow into adults, man. I mean, don't even get me started. I can talk about this forever, man.
Yeah, and Jalil, he said, I'm pretty sure I heard Jalil say the last time he sparred Tank, they went 12 or 15. Yeah, I heard the same thing. And I talked to Jalil about
came
that.
in here and said that.
Yeah, and I talked to him private about it. And he was like, man, he was laughing about it. He said, man, I've been there sparring that fool. And next thing you know, we got to keep going. He said, you got to keep going. And he broke down the whole story to me, man. And I was happy for Jalil that he got that, because, you know, that's priceless memories. That's all this stuff is, man. Yeah, you want to go to these training. Yeah, you make some good money at these training camps. Don't get me wrong. You know, that's what you do it for. But the love of the sport for me is I could sit there and have people like BINK say, man, I told the other people, man, you was a good fighter. I appreciate that. And then that same story gets trickled down to my nephews, and then they ask me about it, and I tell them the story, because that all this is memories. And for somebody like me who's dealt with the stuff that I dealt with and had to stop and then basically find another avenue to keep living my dream in a sense, that is the ultimate memory for me. You know, it's like, oh man, I was in Swift Jarrett. I was in multiple Swift Jarrett camps. I was in Gary Russell camps. I was in this camp, that camp. I was in Dusty camp, man. Oh man. Like looking back on it now, it's like, shit, I was spoiled. Like I was at Daryl Coley camp at 9 years old. Like, man, I'm spoiled. Like, like, good God, man.
Indeed, man.
You know, so next week, man, we gotta talk about that deck.
Next week,
man, we gotta break down that whole card,
right?
Bro.
Next week we gotta break down the whole card, and we gotta do something special. It's gonna be our final episode of 2022. So we gotta think this weekend, and come in here and do something to really elevate this last episode of the year and really do it up.
I know one thing. I'm gonna make sure I have something I say. I'm gonna say it in private, and I'm gonna also say some of it on the air.
Yeah.
And you know, it's gonna be to Miss K, to Kenichi, well, to you,
100%.
especially to you.
100%, man.
So, you know.
Man, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up.
Wait, hold on, I didn't know you was wrapping it up.
Man, I got 2 kids out there. I just say I can't fade to the back of the line. I mean,
do you mean he fading the back of the line? The uncle in, you got cousins in. In. What you fade the back?
I got fade the Hagerstown and go finish Christmas shopping.
My bad.
The baby probably need a diaper change, boy. Lord have mercy. But yeah, Lord, real shit, man. Thank y'all, Black Belt Band.
Hell yeah,
Cole
Black Belt. Shout out.
I mean, everybody that's been in the chat, actually engaged and tuning in. Miss Chatman, thank you, everybody. The love has been real, and we appreciate you guys more than you guys know. It's a great episode in here with my brother and my team, man. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up, man. If you guys like what you saw, click that subscribe button. Make sure you guys keep tuning in with us. We got another episode coming, one more for the year. And we'll be back next year, 2023. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, the Slipping Kind of Podcast. We love y'all. Be back with you guys next week.
See y'all next week.